Good evening and welcome to a historic venue. Good evening and welcome to a historic rivalry. Two of the best in the Philadelphia Catholic League. Arch rivals go at it here tonight. St. Joe's Prep against LaSalle High School, live from Franklin Field. Hi everybody, welcome to our booth high above. Bob Long, Tyler Kern, Jack McGuire, Pat Burkhead, and Jack Burns with us here. Tyler, let's start with you, a guy who played in this game many times as a defensive end for LaSalle High School. What comes to mind when you think of LaSalle and St. Joe's Prep? What comes to mind is, over the last few years, seeing them play at this field. Obviously, last year, that big upset, LaSalle pulled it off and St. Joe's Prep was in Upper Dublin, but it's good to be back at Franklin Field. Really historic rivalry. As a LaSalle alumni, I think back to, prep week and all the hype around that and just hearing it in the halls. And I heard it chirping from both sides coming in today. And it's going to be a good night and a good night for football. Big waits to get into this venue. A big crowd expected. This is everything you want in high school football. The latest game taking place in Pennsylvania this weekend. Let's turn it now to our three students from LaSalle High School with us here today, starting with Jack Burns. Jack, your thoughts on this team, the LaSalle High School Explorers, and then their opponent, the St. Joe's Prep Hawks, winners of multiple state championships in a row and still the team to take down and the best until proven otherwise.
Right. I think these teams, both of them, are absolutely great. I think they're top in this environment right now, in this high school environment. I mean, you put two of these very great players in offensive and very aggressive teams together, and it's going to be great, and that that it's just going to be a battle, and it's going to be a great night here in Franklin Field. Well, and that's why there's that many people in the building and watching all around the state and around the country and beyond. Pat Burkhead is with us here as well. You've been covering not just LaSalle High School football, but for PA Football News all over the place. You've seen a lot of football through the state. What is special about these two teams?
Yeah, these two teams both have great coaching staffs, in my opinion. I think Brett Gordon and Coach Roken are both great coaches that lead their teams to exceptional heights every year, and I think we can expect that for years to come. St. Joe's Prep has a notoriously physical defense, and I think LaSalle's defense has to match that physicality.
And then our resident historian, statistician, researcher, Jack McGuire, is with us, and I know you got some stuff from two of the best to ever do it in this city in terms of covering high school sports. Let's turn it over to you. What are your thoughts on this contest?
Yeah, Bob, I am so excited for this matchup here tonight. I'm going to give some history for pregame. Both teams have a very impressive history. According to Ted Sillery and other sources, St. Joseph's Prep has won 24 PCL championships, 14 city championships, and 9 state championships. And as I've mentioned before, LaSalle has won 15 PCL championships, 8 city championships, and 1 state championship. Both teams are looking for another state championship to add to their history this year, though, as the Prep ruined LaSalle's hopes of one last year. St. Joseph's Prep knocked LaSalle out in the first round 21-14, and it ended up going the distance. The expectations LaSalle has for this year are to win it all, so I'm excited to see how they play here tonight, looking for revenge from last year. This year, St. Joseph's Prep, led by Tim Roken in his 6th season, got off to a rough start, starting the season 0-3. But keep in mind that playing nationally ranked teams, including number 4, DeMatha, number 12, St. Francis Academy, and American Heritage, ranked number 1 in Florida, isn't an easy task. They bounced back very well against Father Judge and Our Lady of Good Counsel with 2 big wins. And besides their disappointing 2-3 start, they are averaging 30.6 per game and allowing 22 per game. LaSalle, led by Brett Gordon, is doing the exact opposite, starting the season off with 4 impressive non-league wins and falling short in their 5th game last Friday against the powerhouse in Roman Catholic. Here are some stats from this year coming into this game from each team to compare. For the Prep, senior running back Kyan Billups, the Monmouth commit, has rushed for 335 yards and 2 touchdowns. Junior quarterback Charlie Folk IV has passed for 944 yards and 12 touchdowns, and also has rushed for 2 touchdowns. Sophomore wide receiver Jet Harrison has 22 receptions, 363 receiving yards, and 9 touchdowns. Junior defensive back Brandon Lockley has 33 tackles and 2 sacks. Senior defensive end Alex Haskell, the Penn State commit, has 8 tackles for loss and 3.5 sacks. For LaSalle, junior running back Ozzie Nelson has rushed for 302 yards and 7 touchdowns. Senior quarterback Gavin Sidwar, the Missouri commit, has passed for 1,270 yards and 14 touchdowns. Senior wide receiver Joey O'Brien, the Notre Dame commit, has 31 receptions, 498 receiving yards, and 8 touchdowns. Senior linebacker Cooper Halig, the Ohio State lacrosse commit, has 42 tackles and 2 sacks. Senior place kicker Chris Heck is 22 for 23 on PATs and 1 for 1 on field goals. I am so excited again to see what we have tonight.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're excited to have you on the broadcast. Appreciate all the research that you do. Just call you Tom Rinaldi, Gene Wojciechowski, the resident historian and storyteller. So thanks for being with us, Jack. Thanks, Pat, Jack Burns, Tyler Curran, old hat for you. We've been doing this forever. Let's get another classic in this rivalry underway from Franklin Field next here on Bob Long Sports.
We're here to show you a better way to spend your state income taxes and get the money to where it's needed to most to the thousands of qualified kids.
What we like about Blocks is they really know where the need is.
This program ensures that their dollars come 100% into these kids for their tuition assistance.
If you are able, Blocks makes the EITC piece go very quickly and very smoothly.
Turn your PA State tax liability into need-based scholarships and receive a 90% tax credit.
Dunphy Ford is Mayfair's neighborhood Ford store.
Nobody knows your neighborhood like Dunphy Ford.
Nearly 40 years.
Right here on Frankfort Avenue.
Generation after generation. Our neighbors continue to be our customers. We have access to the cars and trucks you want with financing you need.
Dunphy Ford is Northeast Philly's first choice for America's #1 brand. 7700 Frankfort Avenue in Mayfair. Online at www.dunphyford.com.
Come experience the Dunphy difference. You'll be glad you did.
My name is Patrick Donahue, a franchise consultant with FranChoice, the premier network of franchise consultants in America. FranChoice is a company that helps people find a franchise business that's the perfect fit for them. We work with the people who want to own a business but don't really know how to find one that's both a top-notch opportunity and a great match. We specialize in franchise opportunities with the following 3 characteristics: low investment, high margin, and rapid break-evens. The best thing about our service is that it's free to the public. We're paid by franchise companies for this service. The process is simple. First, we do an introduction, then the candidate provides me with information. We have a consultation based on that information, and we build what's called the model. Once we have that model, we'll share that with 3 great opportunities that match your criteria. I will follow up with you through the entire process. Obviously, the best opportunities fit the criteria mentioned above, and the right way to find those opportunities is to spend some time with the people who work with the very best franchise companies looking to expand in your local area. I'm humbled by your consideration, and I look forward to speaking with you soon.
Looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate? Meet David and Kay May, a dynamic team with a shared mission to help you turn your real estate dreams into reality. What sets them apart? Their wealth of experience, combined with a genuine passion for guiding clients every step of the way. They believe everyone deserves personalized attention, fair treatment, and expert advice throughout the process, ensuring your journey is smooth and successful. David and Kay may go above and beyond to meet your needs, ensuring expectations are not just met, but exceeded. Whether you're a first-time homebuyer or a seasoned investor, their personalized approach and commitment to service make every real estate journey smooth and rewarding. Contact them today to get started on your next real estate adventure.
They said it couldn't be done, but somehow CCM was able to close this home in just 21 days. Carl, how'd you pull this off?
Oh, hard work, dedication, grinding.
Were you ever worried?
Well, you know, Chloe, they pinned us in deep in the second bedroom, inspection issues, but we regrouped. Knew there was still a lot in play.
Well, I'm sure the Franklins were pleasantly surprised.
We got a good organization here. A lot to look forward to.
Good luck with the next close. And there you have it. Cross Country Mortgages dedicated to getting it done.
So, it's time for your business to renew your lease. Or perhaps you're right-sizing or relocating. This can be an exciting time, but it's also a major project to undertake. Hundreds of decisions to make, some of which may impact your business for the next decade. You know you need an expert on your side from start to finish. What if this expert had no conflicts of interest, no landlords to answer to, and a fiduciary responsibility to work solely in your best interest? Someone who knows the questions to ask, the levers to pull, the pitfalls to avoid. Enter the experts at Gola Corporate Real Estate. They've seen it all over the course of thousands of transactions in dozens of industries. Gola gets. And what if those experts came with a team? Subject matter experts to manage everything that comes with this process. Space planning and design, relocation planning and budgeting, helping you manage your vendors, construction oversight, all with zero out-of-pocket cost to you. A turnkey experience that adds real value, value that flows right to your bottom line. Gola gets it. We've been partnering with clients like you for over 40 years, and we know what's important: solving problems, creating flexibility, protecting and stretching your dollars. Philadelphia-based with a national presence. Get to know Gola. Gola gets it.
When your car needs repairs and you can't wait, Meineke can help. With life's crazy schedule between work and family, you'll love Meineke's same-day service. Call today and Meineke will get your car in today. For new brakes, exhaust repairs, or your check engine light comes on, trust Meineke to do the job right. And families have been coming to Meineke for years because Meineke works on any make or model vehicle. Same-day service, value, and trust. Meineke, doing car care right.
Be a part of the biggest live events. The must-see matches.
He's gone!
The game day celebrations. Experience live sports and entertainment the way they're meant to be seen. With Joe Hand Promotions, the global leader of live entertainment for bars, restaurants, and cinemas. Create unforgettable moments that fans won't want to miss. Keep the food and drinks flowing with watch parties that will bring customers in the door and expand dwell time. And watch as these visitors turn into loyal customers with exclusive content relationships with the nation's largest sports and entertainment providers. In over 10,000 bars, restaurants, and cinemas across America, and customizable packages for every type of venue. Make your business the place for the next must-see event. Because if fans can't make it to the stadium or arena, your venue is the next best place.
Those were just taken from the tailgate. Welcome back, folks. Bob Long Sports coverage of LaSalle football. St. Joe's Prep in the black. LaSalle in the white with the gold helmets. St. Joe's Prep will receive the opening kickoff. The best rivalry in Pennsylvania. Two of the best teams in the state. The two favorites to win a state championship at the 6A level here in 2025. And round one is underway. Chris Heck boots this one deep. Returnable from the 10. Jimmy Mahoney chases him down from behind. And that's where the offense for St. Joe's Prep will get started. The offense for the Hawks of St. Joe's Prep, led by the junior quarterback Charlie Folk, who got the start to begin his sophomore year, has not relinquished that position. He's done a really nice job against some high-level competition and certainly is at a position where he'll be playing big-time college football. The guy behind him will as well. Kion Billups, the senior, 5'8", 180 pounds, a senior. Jet Harrison, the sophomore receiver on the outside. Alston Frisbee and Simon Colabardino, the primary wideouts. And they'll quickly throw this one to Jet Harrison, wearing number 18, just like his younger brother Marvin Harrison Jr. Takes after his father, Marvin Harrison Sr. as well. There's some good football blood in that family.
Absolutely, and you can see they put some respect on that name there. They gave them about 10 yards of cushion, and Jet made a nice curl route for a nice gain for first down there.
And it's going to be interesting to see who covers him all night.
Yeah, me and Patrick had an interesting pregame discussion with the guys over at the WSJP program. Patrick said Trey Hopkins would get him all night. I said Lucas Johnson. Start the game off, Trey Hopkins has.
That's Kion Billups on a gain of about 5. He bounced it off the right tackle. Second down, 5 yards to go. Line to gain is at the 42. Rob Novotny is a tight end wearing number 11 for St. Joe's Prep. Up front, the big boys, Sean Molly, Sean Barth. Jake Namnun is the center. And then on the right side of the line, Caden Oliver at guard, and Dave Contreras, the junior, at 6'2", 265 at right tackle. 2 in the backfield. And they'll throw this one out wide to the backup running back, the sophomore Amin Williams, who got to the 40 and was pushed back there by Trey Hopkins. Cooper Halig combined on the stop, and it'll be 3rd down and 2.
Another really physical running back for St. Joe's Prep. Billups just runs through people.
One minute into the contest, the St. Joe's Prep student section bellows overrated to the LaSalle High School team. The defense hears it. It's hard not to. 3rd down, and they moved it back a yard. Let's see if LaSalle's defense can get off the field. 3 down lineman, Folk pulls and throws over the middle, some contact, and there is no penalty. Intended receiver Alston Frisbee, and we'll get another look at this one.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty close. Could have been called either way, but maybe how the refs are going to call today. Was there a little early.
A big stop for LaSalle there. We've seen them come out a little bit slow in past games, but that was a really great defensive possession.
And how's that number 49? Have not seen that this year. That's Colton McAleer back for his first action in that linebacking core. He'll be a huge number there and gets a big early stop. High end over end punt. Caught with a fair catch at the 31-yard line by the sophomore Owen Johnson. Let's meet the offensive starters for LaSalle across the front. Grayson McHugh, at one point the 13th ranked player in the country, going to Notre Dame next year playing left tackle. Chris Berneski at left guard. Jacob Jackson slides right from right tackle to the center position, replacing Seamus Pinkerton from last year. Andrew Swords, old reliable, the junior guard. And Danny Lawyer, a senior with some offers at the D2 level, 6'3", 285. Gavin Sidwar, the quarterback. And an early false start against LaSalle. Joey O'Brien, the Notre Dame commit, was in motion. You'll also see Jimmy Mahoney, who's taken on an enormous role at 5'8", the all-time 400-meter record holder at LaSalle in track. We'll see Owen Johnson, as well as J.P. Oates, who will line up at tight end, his second year into a position change where he moves from outside receiver to the tight end position. The Temple commit, J.P. Oates. Sidwar slings this one for Joey O'Brien. They got numbers over there. If he can get one block, and he does. O'Brien to the edge, shoved out of bounds after a gain of 7.
If Owen Johnson makes that block early, I think O'Brien's taking that a lot further. He did a good job of getting his man and making that second and manageable, though.
And on the first place for both offenses, LaSalle and St. Joe's Prep are targeting their best players.
That was Messiah Acree, number 1. Big fan of his game, junior at 5'10". He'll play big-time college football somewhere. He did a nice job setting the edge and making sure that O'Brien was forced inside. There's a run up the middle for the lead tailback for LaSalle. Ozir, they call him X Nelson. Gain of 2, 3rd down and 1 upcoming. Second early 3rd down yardage, Jack Burns here. St. Joe's Prep couldn't convert. LaSalle an opportunity to move the sticks.
Yeah. They tried to go with that run from Nelson there, which I love to see a run, but seems like the tough defense that St. Joe's Prep is putting up here won't allow that. So I think they're really going to go for a more pass game tonight.
As Des Ortiz checks into the game as well. We've seen him a lot in the past game.
There's the handoff. First down and a lot more. Ozzie Nelson out to the 45 on St. Joe's Prep side of the field. Gain of 12.
Speak of the devil there, you see Des Ortiz line up on the outside, crashes down, and makes that huge gain possible here.
And Des Ortiz is a really skilled player, and he was playing a flex-type position there. It's interesting to see how Brett Gordon can use him from that position tonight.
Yeah, and Jack Burns, you're a big fan of the guy who made that long run, Ozzie Nelson.
Big fan of the run game. Love to see it.
St. Joe's Prep last year, depending on how you looked at the game, but I would say Tyler controlled the line of scrimmage and the rushing attack, especially in game number 2. LaSalle took that to heart in the offseason. Very early, just the third offensive play for LaSalle. And they're going to have to take a timeout. Brett Gordon is storming onto the field, and I don't think he's going to talk to, I suppose he is talking to his guy. I wasn't sure if he had an issue with the officiating or his team, but call came in late, it looked like, and so timeout, first down and 10, 8:13 to go in this first quarter.
Yeah, and I just want to emphasize LaSalle's big 3-and-out on the first possession of the game for St. Joe's Prep is something we hadn't seen from them in the Roman Catholic game last week. Great way to start the game, not coming out lackadaisical like they did in Roman. It's a great sign.
Let's meet this defense for St. Joe's Prep. Colton Anderson, senior on the edge. Alex Haskell, senior at the interior defensive tackle, but he can play on the edge as well. Penn State commit Jason Nitz and Anthony Schooley on the defensive end side of the football. Lockley, Boggs, and Joseph make up the rest of that front 7 in the linebacking core. Good protection for Sidwar. Floats this one, feathers that one in. Caught by J.P. Oates at the 31-yard line, and it's a gain of 13.
A very confident throw from Sidwar there. Even though he threw a few picks last game against Roman, he carries himself like a pro, and he's going to come out tonight slinging the ball.
Oates didn't have a guy within 5 yards of him there. Did a great job of finding the soft spot in that zone. Easy pass, easy catch.
J.P. Oates is a great route runner and an even better blocker, which is a very underrated stat of his game.
Sidwar is in the shotgun, tight formation. Oates is the halfback in motion. Nelson, nowhere to go that time. Alex Haskell with first contact. He got through the right side of that offensive line for LaSalle.
Lots of motion from LaSalle early.
It seems like they're really opening up the playbook here. And there was a great pull block there from, I believe that was number 76 there. But just, when that interior is blown up like that, there's not much you can do against the run game. So tackle for loss for St. Joe's Prep.
Clock ticking under 7:45 to go in this one. Beg your pardon, 7:30 to go. Second down 11. O'Brien, the man in motion. Nelson alongside Gavin Sidwar. Free rush, delivers it over the middle. Owen Johnson gets to the first down marker, took a huge hit.
And Owen Johnson is just so fast. Once he gets the ball, he's really dangerous after the catch.
And Sidwar avoided a huge hit there as well. Felt the pressure, did a little spin move. Great way to cap off a great play as they're in hurry-up offense here.
And Ozzie Nelson plunges through. He gained 2. Could have been worse.
That was a great job by the St. Joe's Prep defense of getting through that O-line. Almost got Nelson down before he even got past it.
Ozzie Nelson, though, chugging those big legs of his, using that power.
Line again is just inside the 10. Second down and 8. Mahoney split out wide. Tough matchup there with him and Messiah Akery. That'll be a fun one to watch. Sidwar again, free rusher, takes a shot for Joey O'Brien, goes up for the football, and it is jarred loose. Great defense by St. Joe's Prep. Brandon Ross, number 3, in there on the breakup.
That's an example there of Sidwar just trusting his guy. Nice throw. little bit of contact from both sides there. I like the no call.
That was great coverage by the junior defensive back.
Ross, a guy that was in that backup role last year as well, behind Acree. Samaj Hill having some challenges. Ross thrust into the role.
And Bob, that's 5'11" going against 6'5".
3rd down and 8. Sidwar. He'll lob it again, and there is a flag in the area of holding. Tyjon Hamilton, the sophomore defensive back, had a difficult matchup against Mahoney.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know if that's DPI. I'd call that holding. Let's see what they call it on the field.
All depends on whether that ball was out of Sidwar's hands by the time the contact was made.
And if we're being honest here, it looks like there's a miscommunication in routes run there as well. I don't think that hold. Yep, there it is, holding.
And so that's a 10-yard defensive holding penalty, which results in a 1st down. Not automatic.
And inside this 10-yard line, LaSalle loves to go to Azir Nelson up the middle here.
Azir Nelson, like I said earlier, 7 touchdowns on the year. Looking to make it 8 here.
Handoff to Nelson, nowhere to go. Even took a loss on the play. Loss of 2, maybe 3, back outside the 10.
Yeah, you can see here on the replay, you know, it looks like there was 2 pulling guys. You had Joey O'Brien and JP Oates, but they kind of locked in on the same guy. And again, that interior just kind of blew up the play there. If you can't block in the interior, your run game's not going to do much.
And it has been a challenge early on here, Tyler. LaSalle's moved the ball down the field, but particularly in pass rush situations, Sidwar has needed to get rid of the ball very quickly. Sidwar stands in, delivers towards the end zone. It's caught for the touchdown.
Nope.
Owen Johnson with the big touchdown grab.
I think they're calling that a drop.
Well, there's also a flag. There is a touchdown signal there, Tyler. And, well, there's a hold against the offense. That's why. So it was signaled touchdown right at the pylon by that official. And then the official from the line of scrimmage basically got on a sprint, tapped that official on the back and said, no, this one's coming back. So now 3rd down and goal.
Second and goal.
Only 2nd down. Okay.
Yeah, that was 2nd and goal, and the holding had them replaying 2nd down here. But, you know, not even in the red zone anymore. See LaSalle leaning on their speedy receivers here. Mahoney close to us.
O'Brien dances back to the left side of the line. Here's Sidwar. Fading back, tough throw towards the end zone, and it's incomplete. The official has it as incomplete, and that was immediate. This is going to be an interesting replay. He came down with the football, and I don't know.
Looking on the big monitor in front of us.
Boy, that might be in.
That looked like he had 1 foot in bounds. I couldn't see what the second foot was doing there. Not that it matters, but if he was already...
Unless that ball came loose in any way, and I don't think it did.
Yeah, Joey thought it was a touchdown.
You're taking a touchdown off the board for LaSalle High School. Now it's 3rd down and goal. Sidwar steps up inside the 10. Nice throw and catch into a tight window. Sets up decision time. You would think the 27-yard field goal would be palatable for Chris Heck and the LaSalle special teams.
Chris Heck has only kicked 1 field goal this year, and he's made it. Looking to go 2 for 2.
And when I think of Chris Heck, I think of that first St. Joe's Prep game last year where he was just stellar in overtime. Didn't miss a single field goal or extra point.
An early statement drive for LaSalle. Questionable on whether it was a touchdown or not. It was ruled out of bounds. Heck to salvage it. drives that one, and it is no good. And dog-ear that page as we go through the rest of this contest. LaSalle gets nothing, and St. Joe's Prep gets off the field.
And wow, had the power there, just missed left. No pressure there, just a miscommunication. I didn't see how the hold was, but I know Heck will want that one back.
And I know that didn't result in any points, but I thought the LaSalle offense looked very good there. They moved the ball well, got their star players involved, and gained a lot of yardage.
That holding killed them.
I do like that decision, though, to go for 3 after we saw a very low-scoring game last year in the first game during the regular season. And putting 3 points on your first drive on offense is a pretty good statement. They just didn't execute there.
LaSalle's defense got off the field quickly on the first offensive drive of the game for St. Joe's Prep. And not going very far there is Kion Billups, maybe a gain of 2.
A great tackle by Keenan Stahl. Looked like there might have been some room there, but he brought the house.
And on that last offensive drive, Gavin Sidwar went 4 for 6, throwing for 49 yards. Joey O'Brien with 2 receptions for 24 yards, and then the 27-yard field goal was no good. Drive summary, 12 plays, 62 yards.
Defensive starters for LaSalle: Caleb Davidson, Jamel Williams, Ryan Fandozzi up front. We'll see a lot of Kyrie Mitchell as well when they go even front. Nick Neary, Cooper Halig, Zyke Scott, Keenan Stahl. Good to have Colton McAleer back on the field for LaSalle after some injury. Thought there was movement, and there's the call. It'll be a false start against the Hawks of St. Joe's Prep. Lucas Johnson, Jimmy Mahoney, Trey Hopkins, Joey O'Brien. We'll see a lot of them on the defensive side of the football in the defensive backfield.
The one knock I have on the St. Joe's Prep team over the years is they do draw a lot of flags. Even when they were at their best, they were making a lot of mistakes, but usually can be overcompensated with their immense talent and coaching.
Folk stands in, throws a little wheel route, and it looks really good. Alston Frisbee was 1 tackle away from taking it the distance.
Yeah, and just looked like a little pre-snap motion really threw things off here. Joey O'Brien, you see there's a little out of position. Not sure if that was his guy, but
Folk now looks to the sideline after moving quickly up to the line. 4 wide. Pulls it and fires over the middle for Rob Novotny. Takes a big hit and hangs on. Gain of 11, maybe 12 over the middle.
I thought that was a bit of a dangerous pass up the middle there. But Folk found his man.
That's an appropriate read that time by the junior quarterback. You're reading linebacker pressure. You're reading that outside defensive end. That's a run-pass option for Charlie Folk. Most of the times, it's really just an option to pull and throw. Good decision. 1st down and 10 from the LaSalle 45. Good pocket there, and he eludes 1. Takes a shot down the middle. One-on-one coverage, and Joey O'Brien had 2 hands on it. Really not even a ton of issue in terms of the offense playing defense. That's one he'll want back.
And we saw this last week at the end. There was 6 or 7 interceptions, I think, in that second half alone against Roman Catholic that LaSalle wants back.
Yeah, Tyler, I think it was 7. I think that there were 7 times that LaSalle got their hands on a Roman ball and just dropped it. And the count to start this game is 1.
And that really hurts, but it's not the worst thing in the world. They did force the incompletion.
And Folk being, I don't want to say careless with the ball, but he's had a few that have been up for grabs.
And that one's deflected. Good job by Keenan Stahl out of that linebacking core. Sets up 3rd down and 10.
Yeah, Keenan Stahl already having himself a really good game.
So now, a big third down play, potentially 4-down territory for the Hawks, dressed in black. Keep an eye on Jet Harrison. He's been covered by Trey Hopkins, who's all of a sudden become the top defensive back on this LaSalle football team. Folk stands in, has a clean pocket. Now it starts to break down. Thrown well short. That's an excellent defense by LaSalle, and there's a flag in the area of holding.
Yeah, big holding here on the top of your screen.
And what do you do, Tyler?
Against the defensive end. I agree with the declining here.
And so on comes the kicking unit for St. Joe's Prep.
LaSalle's defense has made a statement early in this game.
Yeah, Jack, and I think that's exactly what they wanted to do. They have came out, they've been physical, they've gotten some pressure on Charlie Folk, and it's been very beneficial.
Luke Cochran will kick this one away. And there's movement.
That's absolutely on St. Joe's Prep there. St. Joe's Prep already racked up 4 penalties against them, 3 of them on this offensive drive. And they're getting so close to blocking these punts. Oh! That is a huge early hit on Owen Johnson there. I think I had the same reaction as everybody else in this crowd. I believe Owen Johnson called a fair catch there and got absolutely hammered before the ball got there.
Tyler, I cringed there.
Yeah, and good to see Owen get right back up and walk off the field.
It's a rough one to see.
That's 5 flags against St. Joe's Prep in the first quarter alone.
As you were saying earlier, you know, they rack up a lot of flags, but just because of their raw talent, they're able to back it up.
And it's just something that's been consistent with them over the years. I think back to the last, 5, 6 St. Joe's Prep games that we called. They are in the double digits typically.
And a big chance here for LaSalle to drive down the field and take the lead.
So first down for LaSalle, 15 yards from the spot.
That effectively made this a 6-yard punt. And like you said, 2 big statements by this LaSalle defense.
Tyler, you just said a 6-yard punt at the end. That's pretty good math. I couldn't figure that out.
You'll learn that in college, don't worry. Or maybe even in LaSalle still.
Handoff, Azir Nelson bounces to the edge, needs one block. Shoved out of bounds after a gain of 7.
We talk about Joey O'Brien a lot on this broadcast, but that was a great block by him there. You can tell his bench press is certainly up there.
And that's what Notre Dame wants to see. Azir Nelson's also had a really great game so far.
Yeah, really nice that they've integrated him so well since the beginning of this season. He seems like he's found his place.
And Messiah Acree, that's effectively taken a foul there in basketball. Watch Acree top of your screen. Sidwar with the clap. And it's just taking a foul.
It's press coverage there before the play even starts.
Tyler, you're a big fan of that clap working.
Yeah, I mean, the Sidwar clap has been quite the anomaly these last 4 years. Really able to get at least a few jumps each year. I think won a game, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, and St. Joseph's Prep has come out pretty undisciplined so far, but we can't rely on them to do that the whole game.
That's a big throw over the middle, and O'Brien could not catch it.
Yeah, O'Brien was wide open there. Just Sidwar lofted it a bit. Not sure if he had to because of the pressure in his face, but man, LaSalle's really finding the gaps in this zone defense.
Yeah, Tyler, watching the replay there, I did see a linebacker in front of Joey, so a little bit risky if he threw it lower, but
It's one of those things where you want to hit your man because he's wide open, but just a great defensive play from this front four is something to watch.
2nd down and 10. 1:26 on the clock. And a whistle. False start.
And something to notice, people are still coming in this game.
Yeah, my wife was in line, and she said it was a 6-block long line.
Whoa.
and this is during a Phillies playoff game too.
Sidwar takes the snap, hands it off to Azir Nelson, who jets up the middle there. Looked like he had nothing and got a nice 6-yard gain.
It was a great job. You could see him driving down. There were people who clawing at him to bring him down, but really driving his feet down and making sure the ball gets where it needs to go.
And I wouldn't be surprised if this is 4-down territory for LaSalle. Might go something shorter here, pick up half the yards.
Yeah, I like the way you think there. We've seen LaSalle be pretty aggressive, but a team like St. Joe's Prep, too, it's also a battle of field position.
Sidwar stands in, throws it for Johnson. It'll be close. About a yard short, 4th down and 1 upcoming. Decision time for LaSalle.
Oh, you're absolutely going here.
Another thing to notice is how many cameramen are here.
We were talking to the St. Joe's Prep media group before, and they have 10 cameramen alone.
4th down and 1. Here's Sidwar under center. Nelson in the backfield. And timeout called. Not to say that the offense won't stay out there.
Actually, I think the quarter ended.
That's exactly right. Quarter ended here. So we'll take a quick break and come back on the other side.
More people are choosing Faulkner Infiniti of Willow Grove for the outstanding customer service and the extraordinary selection of Infiniti vehicles. Like the all-new 2025 QX80, it's unlike any luxury SUV you've ever experienced. With an all-new design and groundbreaking technology, the Infiniti QX80 has set a new standard in its class. Come experience the QX80 and the entire Infiniti lineup at Faulkner Infiniti of Willow Grove. To be sure.
Next Play Basketball is the largest AAU program in the greater Philadelphia area. Next Play also offers camps, clinics, and private training for boys and girls, 3rd to 12th graders. They teach the Next Play mentality to help athletes have success on and off the court. Next Play coaches focus on each player's development through high-level coaching and a competitive environment. If you would like to join the Next Play family, go to nextplaybasketball.com for more information. They will be hosting spring tryouts starting in January.
Second quarter about to get underway. We do apologize for the little bit of technical difficulties here. It's a big 4th down, and Mahoney comes up with the catch. Move the sticks.
Some first quarter stats. LaSalle rushed for 31 yards, passed for 56, 87 yards in total. St. Joe's Prep rushed for 7 yards, passed for 53, 60 yards total. And thank you to Mr. McCartney from the WXP and Athletic Communications Club at LaSalle for giving us these in-game stats.
Yeah, Jack, they've done a great job this year.
1st down and 10 for Sidwar. Takes a hit, throws it deep. Joey O'Brien comes down with it inside the 15 to about the 11. They are stretching the field and making no bones about it.
There's the sure hands of Joey O'Brien. So far, I think LaSalle looks like the better team on both sides of the football.
And Sidwar's really been hanging in there despite the pressure.
Yeah, he's going to take a few hits sooner rather than later, I think, but it's not stopping him.
Early second quarter. Again, had a little bit of technical issues. Think we're through that. Thanks for hanging with us. Des Ortiz is the running back alongside Gavin Sidwar. Line to gain is inside the 5. Sidwar towards that back pylon, incomplete. Well covered there, Brandon Ross defending Joey O'Brien. Ross provides a little bit of length on the outside there. The junior cornerback stepping into a big role here tonight.
It's certainly hard to stretch the field when you're down in the red zone here. LaSalle's offense doing a great job of marching down the field, but last time they sputtered out. Scoreboard does not care about yards, cares about points.
You know what, Tyler? I care about yards, though.
I'm sure, colleges care about yards, but the record of this game does not.
Mahoney and Oates. Now Oates in motion. They'll come back to that original right side of the line. Sidwar scrambles, eyes downfield, and just throws it away. There is a flag in the secondary in the area of a defensive hold.
Yeah. I mean, usually you talk about an offensive lineman holding when a play breaks down like that, but when you got your receivers scrambling like that.
Yeah, one-on-one coverage and one-on-one in jersey numbers there.
And it is a defensive hold. And you notice that, if you could hear that. If not, we'll repeat it. Half the distance to the goal, defensive hold, repeat, second down. We talk about it on repeat in games like this, and certainly when you get down into the red zone at the high school level, a lot of times these fouls at college level and above are an automatic first down, are not at the high school level. Would love the NFHS to take a look at that in the offseason. Of course, that's a little bit above our pay grade. Big second down. LaSalle got inside the 10 and did not score the last time. They're trying to change that. Well covered on the edge. And they have been going at Tyjon Hamilton, the sophomore defensive back. He's been physical. He's been forcing officials to make the call. That ball was uncatchable.
Yeah, I really like that defense there. Owen Johnson locked up with his man. Again, it was similar to that Joey O'Brien throw we saw earlier, tried to make that one-handed catch.
Yeah, and I mentioned earlier Brandon Ross, the defensive back, the junior, was 5'11". Why don't we bump two of those numbers down for Tyjon Hamilton, the sophomore, 5'10".
Timeout.
Surprised we had not seen any of the running game this far in the red zone.
And we'll take this timeout with them. Stay with us on Bob Long.
More people are choosing Faulkner Infiniti of Willow Grove for the outstanding customer service and the extraordinary selection of Infiniti vehicles. Like the all-new 2025 QX80, it's unlike any luxury SUV you've ever experienced. With an all-new design and groundbreaking technology, the Infiniti QX80 has set a new standard in its class. Come experience the QX80 and the entire Infiniti lineup at Faulkner Infiniti of Willow Grove. To be sure.
Next Play Basketball is the largest AAU program in the greater Philadelphia area.
See ya.
Sidwar stands in, throws for O'Brien. He came down with it. Touchdown, LaSalle.
Joey O'Brien making that look easy there. It's a simple crossing route. Has his man, a step on his man, and gets two hands on the ball. Touchdown.
Yeah, Joey's just really athletic and long. He's probably one of the best red zone targets in high school football.
PATs this year. 23 for 24.
And there is a fence this game, so maybe we'll get some luck here.
Another chance for this LaSalle defense to come out and get another stop.
Again, let's take this break and we'll come right back here on Bob.
Next Play also offers camps, clinics, and private training for boys and girls, 3rd to 12th graders. They teach the Next Play mentality to help athletes have success on and off the court. Next Play coaches focus on each player's development through high-level coaching and a competitive environment. If you would like to join the Next Play family, go to nextplaybasketball.com for more information. They will be hosting spring tryouts starting in January.
LaSalle came up empty in a first quarter drive. Thought they had a touchdown with Joey O'Brien toe tapping. It was ruled out of bounds, missed a field goal. This drive did not go begging. They lead 7-0, and Messiah Acree has nowhere to go. Aiden Christie in there on the stop. St. Joe's Prep will start from the 16-yard line.
Yeah, I thought that was really nice coverage there. A lot of gold helmets in on that tackle on Acree.
And Aiden Christie's been really impressive at the nickel position this year.
And this LaSalle defense, hold these Hawks. You know, you got so much talent on these offense, and you got to get a feeling that Folk is going to rip a long pass here.
On that last drive, it lasted 9 plays. They went for a total of 66 yards. It took 3 minutes and 13 seconds off the clock. Sidwar 4 for 7 for 44 yards. O'Brien 2 receptions for 32 yards and a touchdown. It was a 6-yard pass on that touchdown. Now that makes the game totals for Sidwar 8 receptions for 8 for 12, 96 yards and a touchdown. For O'Brien, 4 receptions, 55 yards, 1 touchdown.
Jet Harrison, cornerback, gave up the edge there, led to a couple more yards.
Yeah, that was tough for Trey Hopkins. He had pretty good coverage there, but the Jet using that speed for the first down.
Simon Culibardino is the receiver that came in motion. Folk stands in. All day in the pocket, delivers high. Jet Harrison brought it down and withstood a big hit from Joey O'Brien, and Tim Roken is furious. He thought his receiver was defenseless, but they'll move back to the line quickly. 9:51, 9:50 as the clock ticks here in the second quarter.
Yeah, not a ton of pressure that time. LaSalle's defensive front has been doing a pretty good job of keeping the St. Joe's Prep offensive line on their toes. They're showing 3-man fronts, 4-man fronts, dropping linebackers into coverage. They're doing a really good job, as they do right here.
Second down as LaSalle's defensive line shifts. Bounce into the outside. It'll be very close. All depends on the spot. Joey O'Brien came all the way up from the safety position, but they are already moving the sticks. First down, St. Joe's Prep.
That's interesting. They did not have that at the 44-yard line there. That looked like that was well short, but the LaSalle side ref calls first down.
Get one more look at it here. St. Joe's Prep still getting up to the line. You can be the judge at home after it. Did he get all the way to the 44?
Absolutely not. That is a very poor spot.
First down and 10. Line to gain is LaSalle's 46. Charlie Folk, quarterback of the St. Joe's Hawks, in the shotgun. Stands in with a good pocket. Back shoulder ball. It is caught.
And they are just picking on Trey Hopkins. A beautiful ball from Folk there for a nice gain down to Explorers territory.
Alston Frisbee, the intended receiver. And not only intended, but completed. What a play by Frisbee, the junior.
Yeah, I was just been waiting for Folk to start hitting some of these passes. He's getting in the zone here. This is just the beginning for Folk.
Harrison in motion. Folk comes back the other way. They're setting up a screen for Frisbee. One missed tackle, and Keenan Stahl will end up wrapping him up. Ends up being a good game. 5 yards for St. Joe's Prep.
Yeah, I really like that play. It was a three-man front from the Explorers. They looked like they had that screen sniffed out, but just breaking a tackle makes that go from a 1-2 yard gain to a 6 yard gain. Nice clean drive from these Hawks.
Offset pistol here with Kion Billups in the backfield.
Yeah, so far this drive, Alston Frisbee, the junior, has been targeted plenty of times.
Folk, double move, double coverage. Ball was out of bounds anyway, but I think that's a good decision by Folk. I think that's always the read there, Tyler, and he recognizes, we don't really have anything here. Throw that one away.
Yeah, I mean, the way you're marching down the field, I mean, you're in 4-down territory right here, absolutely. Why not take a shot? Haven't seen much from this Hawks running game since that first drive. Might see something here.
Folk pulls and throws to the sideline. That was a fastball through the hands of Alston Frisbee. Fourth down.
Frisbee's going to want that one back. His man covering him, Jimmy Mahoney, tripped. He was going to take that 20 yards.
Second quarter action, 7:35 to play. St. Joe's Prep with their most successful offensive drive of the contest thus far. It is fourth down, 5 yards to go. Find a gain at the 24 of LaSalle. Folk goes with the hard count. LaSalle with that odd man front. They move laterally, but they don't jump. It's Caleb Davidson, number 52, trying to induce the false start. Folk, clean pocket, thrown high, good coverage.
That is a huge play. We kind of undermined that, but that was 4th and 5. An insane stop by this Explorers D yet again.
Yeah,
Hopkins.
LaSalle's defense has done a great job of containing Jet Harrison, who is a very talented sophomore, like we were talking about, but LaSalle has put him on lock so far.
Jack Burns, haven't heard from you in a little while. Thoughts on that defensive stop here from LaSalle on fourth down?
I think it was a great job. I think they realized that Jet Harrison is a real menace and a real problem on St. Joe's Prep offense, and they need to cover him and they need to take care of him. As we saw when Folk threw that out of bounds, they had a double coverage on him, which is a great idea.
There's the handoff. Good move. And Des Ortiz, dinged up at the start of the year, fell behind Ozzie Nelson on the depth chart, just kept working. He's a terrific young man, a captain on this team. And that's a great run, one of the better runs that LaSalle's had all night.
Yeah, it's pretty clear they wanted to work him into this scheme, whether it's holding the ball or blocking. And Ortiz, the hero of last year's regular season St. Joe's Prep game, has come to play.
That's right. Caught the two-point conversion in the end zone after the tip at the line of scrimmage. Joey O'Brien tipped by Anthony Sacca into the hands of Des Ortiz. And there's outside zone. Des Ortiz has the first down. Needed 3, got 3.5. Moved those sticks.
Des Ortiz and Ozzie Nelson remind me a little bit of the Lions running backs, David Montgomery and Jameer Gibbs. I feel like Ozzie Nelson's a really powerful runner, while Des Ortiz is great in the passing game and really shifty.
Yeah, and to that play from last year, Des Ortiz shifted from running back to wide receiver, and Joey shifted from wide receiver to quarterback.
LaSalle breaks the huddle. O'Brien in the slot. Mahoney is alone on the other side of the field. Ortiz taken down behind the line of scrimmage. That's terrific defense by St. Joe's Prep and the junior John Boggs, who's really come onto the scene as a terrific linebacker He's had to replace 2 power 4 guys in Anthony Secca and Cam Smith, and he's done an excellent job in that regard this year. Spent a little bit of time out of the lineup, but he's back healthy now and playing well.
I like that Ortiz handoff there. It's been working 2 plays in a row. Why not try a third? Really test this defense.
2nd down and 11. Line to gain is right at the 50. That's the tight end, Oates in motion. Sidwar takes another deep shot. Jimmy Mahoney. It's through his hands. It's a perfect throw. It was a great route. He just couldn't bring it in.
Right in the breadbasket. Mahoney, as we've seen all year, using that speed, just wasn't able to bring it in.
And these games come down to little things. LaSalle has outplayed St. Joe's Prep, no question about it here tonight. But if it is only a 7-point lead or less heading into half, you'll think back to that call on that first drive where Joey O'Brien looked like he got the foot in, and then a drop like that. But 3rd down and 11, they can cure a lot of ills right here. St. Joe's Prep looking to get off the field. Sidwar stands in on 3rd down. Delivered short. It's a heck of a catch by Joey O'Brien, but well short of the 1st down marker. And it's 4th down. LaSalle will send the punt unit onto the field.
Sal's first punt of the day here, I believe.
Back deep to receive for St. Joe's Prep, Kyle Almond, senior wide receiver. And they nearly got the block. It is a good punt, and it was mishandled. It's a live football, and LaSalle is on it. It's Nick Neary that came on it. We will get another look at that. I don't think that's kick-catch interference. I really don't. I think that's his own guy running into him, and we don't have a call yet, I don't think.
I didn't think it even touched the Hawks guy, but
right now, there are 4 officials looking at it. You can be the judge at home on this. I don't see that as kick-catch interference.
Great job by Nick Neary diving on the ball there.
Yeah, Nick Neary's a great athlete for LaSalle.
Still looking for a call. And there's the call. Muffed punt. No infraction. Recovered by LaSalle.
I couldn't tell on that drive. It didn't look like the ball touched the receiver there, but.
Oh, it absolutely did. Absolutely did.
I think it bounced off his foot or his hands there?
It did, yes. And the only question at that point was whether it was interference.
Yeah.
It looked like it bounced off the turf and then into his hands and then into the air. And that's when Nick Neary was very aware and dived on the ball.
And I just saw J.P. Oates and Joey O'Brien kind of signaling to calm down. They don't want to get too emotional.
There's no calming down this LaSalle student section after that, though.
It is a nice showing by LaSalle on that side of the field. Big, big crowd this evening. 4 wide, and they'll blow this one dead. Timeout called by St. Joe's Prep. This portion of today's game brought to you by the Great American Pub. Longtime sponsor. Great spot to enjoy yourself with family and friends before, during, or after the big game. With 3 locations, Conshohocken, Wayne, and Phoenixville, there's always a Great American Pub near you. On a nice day, check out the rooftop bar in Conshohocken or take your family to a nice dinner. Thanks to Chuck Hempshire, proud LaSalle dad and supporter of Bob Long Sports and LaSalle Athletics, as well as Charlie Hempshire, his son, who played football and basketball and is now involved with the business. Also want to thank Riley Rakowski and Malloy Funeral Home, an enthusiastic supporter of LaSalle Athletics. Andrew Buda Rakowski sends his best to Coach Brett Gordon, the student athletes, and the LaSalle football program as a whole. Riley, Rakowski, and Malloy Funeral Home, a proud sponsor.
And Salle here, the playbook is wide open.
Off the muffed punt on the very last play in special teams. Sidwar was looking for the screen, and he does a nice job to just knock it down. That was blocked up front. Colton Anderson was right in the area, and he was the closest one to actually catching that football, Tyler. Sidwar does a nice job to knock it to the turf.
Yeah, even if that got to Ortiz, the intended target, that was getting tackled down for a loss, I believe.
Yeah, I like the play call. It just wasn't executed that well. Des Ortiz is so good in the passing game.
Yeah, but a team like St. Joe's Prep, you know, got really great coaching on their side. They snuffed out that screen from a mile away. I really like LaSalle's incorporation of motion. They've done it on over 90% of the plays, I would say. It really helps your quarterback kind of see what kind of defense you're dealing with.
2nd down and 10. Sidwar takes a shot, going right back to Mahoney, who dropped the last one, and that time it's just really good coverage by St. Joe's Prep. And again, they continue to attack the sophomore Tyjon Hamilton. He's seeing action with the absence of Samaj Hill.
And he looks great. That's great defense right there. That's not on Mahoney in any way.
And most of the defensive backs or cornerbacks are under 6 foot, while LaSalle has multiple receivers that are over 6 foot.
Yeah, LaSalle's got some big targets in Joey O'Brien and J.P. Oates especially.
Just shows that the way you play really determines this game, you know.
Chimo Goose is also over 6 foot.
Sidwar. Good delivery. Joey O'Brien turns on the Jets. Joey O'Brien inside the 10. Big play. There was one chance for St. Joe's Prep to take him down. He made one man miss in the open field.
Yeah, really nice. I want to credit that, you know, that trips to the right. You know, you got all these receivers bunched in a line there. Creates a lot of confusion, and Joey O'Brien able to take advantage of that for a huge gain.
Yeah, and Joey O'Brien's a big-time player in a big-time game, and right now he's making big-time plays.
Big on big on big.
On big.
On big.
Des Ortiz, and they blew this play dead. False start.
I thought that play looked really good. Maybe that's why.
Little movement up front.
That definitely hurts the momentum there, but better than the 2nd and goal they had from the 21 in the first quarter.
Big play here from the 14-yard line. Sidwar with the lob. O'Brien turns around, and he couldn't find the football. Brandon Ross on him in coverage.
Yeah, thought O'Brien had it there. Sidwar kind of putting it where the Hawks can't get it, but also where O'Brien couldn't get it as well.
I think it's the contact, the physicality, legally, from Brandon Ross there that takes Joey O'Brien off his route. He's a little late in turning that head, turning that left shoulder to get to that side to look for the football.
Yeah, I thought he did a pretty good job of even getting close to that one. Credit to this Hawks front.
2nd down. Goal to go. They'll go right back to Des Ortiz. They see something they like with him. He gained 5. On 2nd down, it'll be 3rd down and goal from the 8. John Boggs in there on the stop on that one.
I like, as we just talked about, their incorporation of Ortiz here. He looks really good running up the gut. His line is giving him nice holes, and heck, I wouldn't be surprised to see him get it again. I know they want to go through the air here, but they've had more success with the run.
Joey O'Brien in the slot. They've gone to him a lot in these big situations, not just tonight, but all year. Faking the give. Crossing pattern. It's caught. Touchdown, Owen Johnson. LaSalle has a 13-0 lead on St. Joe's Prep.
Yeah, nothing crazy here except for Owen Johnson's speed. Look at this explosiveness as he cuts up front. He was covered, and then he wasn't. Touchdown.
So here's my question, because you got obviously not NFL rules down by contact. I don't think we'll get another look at that. Was the knee down? And where was the ball when the knee was down? It was close. We don't have the right angle for it here. It's called a touchdown, and LaSalle has a 14-0 lead. I do think it's probably a touchdown if you were to really slow that down, but it was close.
Yeah, I thought his knee, not that it matters, was behind the end zone, but I thought he had the ball across.
Yep, absolutely, and that's all it is where was the ball. It's just I think his knee was down when he possessed it, and did he ever possess the ball not in the end zone?
Statistically, according to this, yes, he did.
Big play from Owen Johnson there. It's crazy to think that we're going to get 2 more years of him.
And I think the best part of that play there, Pat, is the fact that Gavin Sidwar, Sr., is working with a sophomore, his first year playing with Owen Johnson. And that ball, from a chemistry standpoint, that ball is out and on a rope before Owen Johnson ever comes out of that break.
Yeah,
and
Bob.
they knew where he was going to be, when he was going to be. It's a great play.
Yeah, I think we see that a lot with Gavin and his receivers. He has very good connections with all of them.
Chris Heck will squib this one. It's a live football. It is misbobbled there. Isaiah Acre, he's going nowhere. He's going backwards. That should be at the 6-yard line. That ball should be marked.
And LaSalle is just dominating in all 3 phases of the game right now. I don't think 14-0 reflects how dominant they've been.
Of note, and we are way early on this one.
On that last drive, it lasted 6 plays, and they went 32 yards. Gavin Sidwar to Owen Johnson for an 8-yard touchdown, and that makes Gavin Sidwar's total 11 for 18 with 129 yards and 2 touchdowns.
And of course, we can't preempt the stats. That's big time. Thank you, Jack, and thanks to Bob McCartney. But of note, and again, can't get the cart ahead of the horse. There's a long game here. But just bear in mind that the Philadelphia Catholic League Red Division is a regular season title. More on that in a second, as that ball just sailed on Charlie Folk. The reason it's a regular season title is because you have teams from multiple classifications. For example, Roman Catholic, a 5A team, LaSalle and St. Joe's Prep, 6A teams. And the way this works, you go all the way to the end of October. You need to start the 1st of November in order to get to districts and then state playoffs if these teams are going to play for a state title, which is very important to these teams. So you can't go with a league playoffs, then a district playoffs, and then a state playoff. So it has to be adjudicated in the regular season. Folk throws this one wide. Good move there, but taken down. Trey Hopkins just with that last shoelace. I think Harrison Tyler's going to need to tie his shoe after that one.
Yeah, and kudos to Trey Hopkins. That's 2 big plays in a row on Jet Harrison. Last being that 4th and 5 stop that he had. They were picking on him a bit on the last drive, but Trey Hopkins is really coming into his own in the second quarter.
So you have a situation where you have a love triangle, right? Roman Catholic, LaSalle, St. Joe's Prep. Roman Catholic beat LaSalle last week. They're in the driver's seat. They beat St. Joe's Prep, they win the Red Division. But if St. Joe's Prep were to beat Roman Catholic and LaSalle gets St. Joe's Prep tonight, it becomes a tiebreaker situation. There's Folk, toe tap, and a first down for Jet Harrison.
There's a flag on the field. Likely
sideline warning is what's being motioned so that won't be any additional yardage. The play should stand as called. And Jet Harrison, good find from Volk, good catch from Harrison. So we went to the spot and the place we know best, Huck Palmer, who gave us a bit of a history lesson, and he said, don't hold me to this one, but what it's been historically was if you have a three-way tie in a situation like this, you go to defensive yield in those 3 games, where in theory all 3 teams would have gone 1-1. The team with the high defensive yield is eliminated, and then you go back to a head-to-head with the 2 teams that remain. More on that in a second as well. Volk, he stands in, swings it wide, and now they get the guy they want going. Jet Harrison with another catch, this time in the flat.
Yeah, and kudos to Volk. That's 2 plays in a row where he's extended the play with his legs. Looked like a sure sack, and it finds his man Jet instead.
And so if you think about defensive yield in those games, yes, LaSalle gave up 39, but Roman Catholic, they gave up 36 in that game. Right now, LaSalle giving up nothing. St. Joe's Prep doing a lot to try to change that. But if this is a low-scoring win for LaSalle, it would put them in a driver's seat type situation for that type of position. And that almost cut the lead in half. Alston Frisbee, maybe the ball's a little high and outside, but one where you think he'd like to make that play.
Yeah, I mean, Frisbee did a great job of just, look at all those gold helmets he got by there. Did a wonderful job, and Volk just a little off the mark there for 6. And even if you convert here, you got to start thinking about time. You got 1 minute and 1 second left on 3rd and short here. It's like about 2 timeouts. As LaSalle will use their final.
Timeout on the field. This portion of today's game brought to you by E&M Insurance, an independent local insurance agency serving the area's business and personal insurance needs. Owned and operated by Chris Marr, class of 1989, and former Alumni Association Board President. E&M Insurance has been servicing the Delaware Valley's insurance needs since 1988. Built on the principles of providing superior customer service and quality insurance solutions for their customers. They're an independent agent, meaning they work with a select group of highly rated insurance companies that have proven their worth over the years. E&M can help provide solutions for your business or personal insurance on all levels, excelling at providing the best coverage at the best rates. Visit them online at eandminsurance.com or call them at 215-368-9556. Big 3rd down, 2 yards to go for St. Joe's Prep. You would think if LaSalle gets a stop here, St. Joe's Prep would not dare going for it on 4th down. So this is a big one as they go empty. Right back to Harrison. And what do we have? They are calling this a catch.
And I really like this LaSalle defensive front. They were showing blitz and only blitzed 3 guys.
Ball was a bit inaccurate there. Harrison came back to the football, and I think that's a good call by this officiating crew. LaSalle folks don't like it. Back to live action. Here's Volk in the shotgun. Tons of time. Deflected and intercepted. It's Jimmy Mahoney, and it's the fastest guy at the school, bringing it back inside the 15. 400-meter record holder. He's also got some hands on him in the secondary.
Yeah, Mahoney had a couple key drops earlier, and there he is. There's the guy we've seen all year. I thought with the speed he had, he was bringing it in for 6.
Tyler, that is my defensive play from Calvert Hall that we were missing.
Yeah, they finally hauled in an interception. The streak is ended.
Well, I was talking about, remember how Jimmy Mahoney had the special teams and the offense, and I was waiting for the defense there.
The Triple Crown just a couple games later.
So 1st down and 15.
And LaSalle looks smart for calling that timeout.
They talk about the middle 8 in football. Remember who got the football to start the first half? LaSalle has a huge position and a huge opportunity here to score and get the football back.
And they got to move here.
They do not have a timeout. 18 seconds on a clock, and they'll spike it. Now this becomes very, very interesting. Without a timeout, third down, anything inside the sidelines caught in bounds could be a problem. This is still high school rules, and the clock does stop momentarily if there's a first down caught down inside the in the field of play. But
the only thing I can think here is they're going to go for 3, but they're going to need to put this one in the air then.
That's exactly right.
In the end zone.
It has to be in the air. It's got to be past the sticks to give them a chance to spike it. Towards the end zone, dropped. It was an interception waiting to happen. It was dropped. Closest to it for St. Joe's Prep, Dariel Jaquez, number 21.
I like that play call. Incredible play by, I believe is that Joey O'Brien there?
It was O'Brien, the intended receiver.
I don't know how he got a hand on that. He almost came down with that, actually. But like the play call, other than the near interception, gives Heck his time to make this for 3.
Chris Heck from 32 yards away. This one has the leg, and it is down the middle. 17-0. LaSalle leads over St. Joe's Prep. This portion of today's game is brought to you by Burns Design Group. At Burns Design Group, our passion for visual and literary design forges powerful, lasting brands from nonprofits and small businesses to Fortune 500 companies. We create and refresh brands from the ground up and inside out. We transform culture. We drive growth, profitability, and market leadership. We are a group of hands-on veterans who hold more than 150 years of brand strategy and design experience. Burns Design Group. What's next? By design.
The kickoff is next, Bob.
That's exactly right. You know what? We might have to do that. Make that a little thing. Where what's next? By design, Burns Design Group, and then you let us know what's next.
Heck's kick. I'm going to forget that next time. You're going to look at me and I'm like, what do you want?
Chris Heck, squibbed kick, picked up at the 5. And good blocking, but Trey Hopkins stands him up. Triple zeros on the clock, and all of a sudden, you cannot end on a penalty like that, and so St. Joe's Prep should have an opportunity with 15 more yards, I think, to get a play in.
I thought that was a huge block in the back on Mahoney that kind of forced that to happen.
I think it was a late hit, though.
No, I know, but that kind of launched that play even further down the field.
Yep, that's what we thought. So untimed down. You cannot end. It's not technically a defensive penalty, but in effect, something that prevents what's the offensive kind of special teams unit from finishing the play effectively. So they're going to have one untimed down. I had it at about the 45-yard line, so they're spotting it at the 43. A couple of center fielders deep. Lucas Johnson and J.P. Oates is getting a rare defensive snap.
We saw him on defense at the Salesianum game, and he did a phenomenal job there.
Thought there was movement there. They're going to hand it off, and LaSalle just needs to make one tackle, and they'll do that. They handed it off to a guy that doesn't get the ball too often, Amin Williams, and that will be the end of the half. So it's 17-0 LaSalle with the lead. What a contest thus far through 15 minutes of play. We have a very special guest coming up next here on Bob Long Sports. We have Communications Chair and Homecoming Chair Rob Stott with the Alumni Association. There were 300 plus alums from LaSalle out on South Green Lawn here before this game. I want him to tell us all about it and give him his props because he deserves it. Who else needs their props are LaSalle High School. They got a 17-0 lead over St. Joe's Prep headed to the break. Stay with us.
We're
here to show you a better way to spend your state income taxes and get the money to where it's needed to most to the thousands of qualified kids.
What we like about Blocks is they really know where the need is.
This program ensures that their dollars come 100% into these kids for their tuition assistance.
If you are able, Blocks makes the EITC piece go very quickly and very smoothly.
Turn your PA State tax liability into need-based scholarships and receive a 90% tax credit.
Dunphy Ford is Mayfair's neighborhood Ford store.
Nobody knows your neighborhood like Dunphy Ford.
Nearly 40 years.
Right here on Frankfurt Avenue.
Generation after generation. Our neighbors continue to be our customers. We have access to the cars and trucks you want with financing you need.
Dunphy Ford is Northeast Philly's first choice for America's #1 brand. 7700 Frankfurt Avenue in Mayfair. Online at www.dunphyford.com.
Come experience the Dunphy difference. You'll be glad you did.
My name is Patrick Donahue, a franchise consultant with FranChoice, the premier network of franchise consultants in America. FranChoice is a company that helps people find a franchise business that's the perfect fit for them. We work with the people who want to own a business but don't really know how to find one that's both a top-notch opportunity and a great match. We specialize in franchise opportunities with the following 3 characteristics: low investment, high margin, and rapid break-evens. The best thing about our service is that it's free to the public. We're paid by franchise companies for this service. The process is simple. First, we do an introduction. Then the candidate provides me with information. We have a consultation based on that information, and we build what's called the model. Once we have that model, we'll share that with 3 great opportunities that match your criteria. I will follow up with you through the entire process. Obviously, the best opportunities fit the criteria mentioned above, and the right way to find those opportunities is to spend some time with the people who work with the very best franchise companies looking to expand in your local area. I'm humbled by your consideration, and I look forward to speaking with you soon.
Looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate? Meet David and Kay May, a dynamic team with a shared mission to help you turn your real estate dreams into reality. What sets them apart? Their wealth of experience, combined with a genuine passion for guiding clients every step of the way. They believe everyone deserves personalized attention, fair treatment, and expert advice throughout the process, ensuring your journey is smooth and successful. David and Kay May go above and beyond to meet your needs, ensuring expectations are not just met, but exceeded. Whether you're a first-time homebuyer or a seasoned investor, their personalized approach and commitment to service make every real estate journey smooth and rewarding. Contact them today to get started on your next real estate adventure.
They said it couldn't be done, but somehow CCM was able to close this home in just 21 days. Carl, how'd you pull this off?
Oh, hard work, dedication, grinding.
Were you ever worried?
Well, you know, Chloe, they pinned us in deep in the second bedroom, inspection issues, but we regrouped. Knew there was still a lot in play.
Well, I'm sure the Franklins were pleasantly surprised.
We got a good organization here. A lot to look forward to.
Good luck with the next close. And there you have it. Cross Country Mortgage is dedicated to getting it done.
So, it's time for your business to renew your lease. Or perhaps you're right-sizing or relocating. This can be an exciting time, but it's also a major project to undertake. Hundreds of decisions to make, some of which may impact your business for the next decade. You know you need an expert on your side from start to finish. What if this expert had no conflicts of interest, no landlords to answer to, and a fiduciary responsibility to work solely in your best interest? Someone who knows the questions to ask, the levers to pull, the pitfalls to avoid. Enter the experts at Gola Corporate Real Estate. They've seen it all over the course of thousands of transactions in dozens of industries. Gola gets it. And what if those experts came with a team? subject matter experts to manage everything that comes with this process. Space planning and design, relocation planning and budgeting, helping you manage your vendors, construction oversight, all with zero out-of-pocket cost to you. A turnkey experience that adds real value, value that flows right to your bottom line. Gola gets it. We've been partnering with clients like you for over 40 years, and we know what's important: solving problems, creating flexibility, protecting and stretching your dollars. Philadelphia-based with a national presence. Get to know Gola. Gola gets it.
When your car needs repairs and you can't wait, Meineke can help. With life's crazy schedule between work and family, you'll love Meineke's same-day service. Call today and Meineke will get your car in today. For new brakes, exhaust repairs, or your check engine light comes on, trust Meineke to do the job right. And families have been coming to Meineke for years because Meineke works on any make or model vehicle. Same-day service, value, and trust. Meineke, doing car care right.
I want to introduce Rob Stott from the LaSalle Alumni Association Board. He put together a great event today from the South Green Lawn, where we had lots of alums from LaSalle High School with us here. Rob, welcome to the broadcast, and thanks for being part of it.
Thank you for having me, and I feel like I'm the bad luck charm that I come up into the booth and things go wrong. It's only like it's not like we didn't do this for 5 years together, Bob.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Well, we're happy to have you back. Would love to hear from you about how things went for you, and tell us a little bit about the event as a whole.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first of all, again, thanks for having me up here and giving me the opportunity to speak. And I must not have been that bad when I was doing these. That you didn't want me to not have a mic in front of my face again. So thank you for that. But yeah, it was a fantastic event. We had 300 plus alums. I think you said the number, 300 plus alums out on the South Green, just outside the stadium walls here to our left, the east end zone. Had a great time, a bunch of great partners that I want to thank, first of all. Cavs Catering, Philly Sports Trips, my buddy Vince Rizzuto, class of 06, who runs that business with his partner Bob, for coming together and providing the food and beverages for that event. A lot of great tables and coverage from the sun as well, some shade with their tents. But the Touchdown Club was a great supporter of this event. Brought a ton of families out to the event, and just friends of families, and just all in all a great time. Something that was different for us. We wanted to kind of reimagine our old homecoming event as an alumni association. So this was a great opportunity to do that on hallowed grounds, these famed grounds just outside of Franklin Field down here on the University of Penn's campus. And thank you for giving us the leeway to try something like this. And I think we'll see. The receipts have to come in, but the vibe of it and everything I've heard is positive. So good. I think it was a great event.
Any highlights in particular that you'd want to mention?
The band showed up. The band was on the field, if you will. We had Chris Mealy and the pep band, who you can hear on this broadcast, I'm sure, even though you're on the other side of Franklin Field. They're positioned over there, but they are loud. We had them about 10 feet in front of us outside right by the registration table, playing a couple of their hits before they came into here. So a big hit for sure, and a big highlight. Also, the food, couldn't go wrong with it. I don't know how many plates you had. I had quite a few. Sausage and peppers were a hit, and definitely a highlight. But also just seeing all the families and friends and faculty and staff of LaSalle College High School being out there on the lawn with us, and tossing around some cornhole and slinging some footballs. The pigskins were flying. We had wiffle ball going on. It was just a great time, great community, and a great opportunity to get together and do something like that.
Tell us a little bit about the Alumni Association itself, what they do, what we do.
I was going to say, you might be better positioned, Mr. President.
Yeah.
No, but we are, it's a great, community organization of just LaSalle. It is what it is, right? It's what the name is what it is. We are the Alumni Association. We get together, quarterly as a board to talk about and plan some awesome events throughout the calendar year. This is the first marquee event for us. We have several others, including the Hall of Fame that comes up in March, early March. We've got a golf outing that I know you, the last couple of years, have been heavily involved with. So just a lot of great ways and people, alumni of this school that have come together and just put on a lot of great events for the community to come together. So.
Well, thank you very much for what you do, for your partnership,
Absolutely.
for hanging with us through a little bit of technical difficulty. And let's do it again next year.
Absolutely,
Congrats on
man.
an amazing event. Turning the tide, I think, and starting our alumni board off on a really good start here for the fiscal year.
Yeah, we got, bars high. The bar has been set high, I think.
Thanks to you.
Yeah, no, the total team effort. So thank you for, the opportunity and to do that, but also to be up here, man. This is a lot of fun. It's
good to
like
get
I said,
you back.
getting back on an old bike,
It is. Our former color commentator, Rob Stott, now has a young family coaching wrestling at LaSalle. He's got more important things to do, which we totally agree. But we're always happy when he comes up and visits us in the booth.
You know it, man. Appreciate
Rob
it.
Stott.
Good to see you.
You too. Stay with us just a couple minutes. Second half kickoff live on Bob Long Sports.
We're here to show you a better way to spend your state income taxes and get the money to where it's needed to most to the thousands of qualified kids.
What we like about Blocks is they really know where the need is.
This program ensures that their dollars come 100% into these kids for their tuition assistance.
If you are able, Blocks makes the EITC piece go very quickly and very smoothly.
Turn your PA State tax liability into need-based scholarships and receive a 90% tax credit.
Dunphy Ford is Mayfair's neighborhood Ford store.
Nobody knows your neighborhood like Dunphy Ford.
Nearly 40 years.
Right here on Frankfurt Avenue. Generation after generation. Our neighbors continue to be our customers. We have access to the cars and trucks you want with financing you need.
Dunphy Ford is Northeast Philly's first choice for Frankfurt Avenue in Mayfair. Online at www.dunphyford.com.
Come experience the Dunphy difference. You'll be glad you did.
My name is Patrick Donahue, a franchise consultant with FranChoice, the premier network of franchise consultants in America. FranChoice is a company that helps people find a franchise business that's the perfect fit for them. We work with the people who want to own a business but don't really know how to find one that's both a top-notch opportunity and a great match. We specialize in franchise opportunities with the following 3 characteristics.
Third quarter about to get underway here from Franklin Field. Thanks everybody for joining us. Bob Long, Tyler Kern, Jack Burns, Jack McGuire, and Pat Burkhead. St. Joe's Prep with a little bit of extra anger into that kick. Pounds it into the end zone, and LaSalle will start from the 20.
Yeah, and a quick out-of-town scoreboard in the PCL. Yesterday, LC beat Delco Christian in a non-league game 27-8 in Newtown Square. Archbishop Ryan beat Archbishop Wood 28-26 at CB South. Bonner and Prendy beat Father Judge 31-0 in Drexel Hill, Pennsylvania. And Roman Catholic beat Cardinal O'Hara 33-7 in Springfield, Pennsylvania. Today, West Catholic beat Archbishop Carroll 24-6 in Drexel, Pennsylvania. And Newman Goretti is currently facing off against Conwell Egan at Widener University.
They talk about the middle 8 in football. LaSalle scored late. Ended up getting a field goal, and now they get the football to start the second half. 5-yard gain off the left tackle for Azir Nelson.
Yeah, we haven't seen a whole lot of Azir Nelson. We saw him on that first drive, maybe the second one a little bit, but they really did a good job at rotating in Des Ortiz, who had a really nice first half.
And what I think is interesting about that is I think a key part of St. Joseph's Prep film session was how to stop Azir Nelson and not so much Des Ortiz. And LaSalle throwing a fastball or throwing a curveball with Des Ortiz.
Oates, the man in motion. We'll go right back to Azir Nelson. Bounces off a tackler and then gobbled up. He lost one on the play. 2 Hawks in there on the stop.
And if you're head coach Brett Gordon, you know St. Joe's Prep is going to give you their best their second half. It's very crucial what he told the team at halftime to make sure that they stay focused and don't take this lead for granted.
Brandon Lockley in there on the stop. He is an uber-talented junior who was the young guy on that linebacking core last year with Anthony Saka as well as Cam Smith, both playing at the high college level. Now he's the leader of this front 7, along with Alex Haskell, the Penn State football commit. Here's O'Brien in motion. 3rd down and 7. Sidwar, dangerous ball, And St. Joe's Prep gets off the field. One of the loudest roars we've heard below us from the St. Joe's Prep fan base all night. They know just how important that stop was.
And Bob, you talked to Coach Gordon at the beginning of the week about facing adversity and losing last week's game. So far this game, they haven't faced much adversity as they're up 17-0, but I want to get your insight on how Coach Gordon is coming off the adversity of last week.
I think they're prepared. I think they know that Roman Catholic was a good team and brought some things that they didn't adjust well to. They get the punt off just barely. It's a really good one from Chris Heck. And a field catch is called for and secured at the 47. Aiden Christie was the one close to him there. Kind of got in the catch radius and then backed off just in time. So now it's a 3-possession game for Charlie Folk, for Kion Billups, for Jet Harrison, and the rest of the St. Joe's Prep Hawks.
Yeah, I'm interested to see if the Hawks come out with any adjustments or look at anything different. They got it going a little bit on offense, but weren't able to finish any of their drives. But they get really nice starting field position here.
Folk hands it off for Kion Billups, tries to get downhill, and he got 2. Tried to run off the left tackle. Sean Molly and Sean Barth at the left guard position.
Yeah, I thought that was a really nice job. I believe that was number 44 there, Ryan Fandozzi, set the edge there for a short gain.
LaSalle has gone with 3 down linemen, an odd man front a lot. Showing blitz from the strong side linebacker, and it's a first down run. On 2nd and 6, he needed 6 and he got 7.
There was just enough fabric grabbed on Jamel Williams to not call the hold there. You can see it right there in the replay. Williams trying to make that tackle and not able to.
Billups, the senior, 5'8", 180 pounds. Folk will now look to the sideline. St. Joe's Prep, they feel like when they can get the ball downhill, run it well with Billups, it opens up everything else. 11 personnel as Folk takes the shot deep. That's very well covered out there. Incomplete.
Lucas Johnson with great coverage there. We haven't heard his name that much tonight, and that's a good sign that he hasn't let up any receptions.
Yeah, Jack, I feel like we haven't heard his name a lot this whole season. He's just been blanketed to whoever he's covering, and we haven't had to talk about him.
2nd down and 10. Ball from the 42-yard line.
You're St. Joe's Prep here. You can't let off the gas with the run game.
4 wide. And they will hand it off, nowhere to go. Jamel Williams chasing Kion Billups back. Keenan Stahl also in the area on the tackle.
He lost his shoe, and he still made the tackle.
That's what Jamel Williams does. He doesn't need a shoe.
As he puts it back on.
That's pretty crazy. He just stepped right into that. He didn't even use a little finger shoehorn. He just stepped right into it like those Skechers commercials.
Yeah, I don't know how tight those shoes are. If he can get in that easily. 3rd down, 11 yards to go. 4 down territory for Folk and the Hawks, who now steps up. He can do this. Extends the play, and Rob Novotny makes the catch. It all depends on the spot.
It looks like it's going to be short, maybe.
Wow, that's a bad spot. Unless he just did not secure the ball initially.
I thought that was pretty close to where.
No, I am at the 35-yard line. That's 2 to 3 yards behind where he first caught it.
I was just going to say, it looks like a 4th and 2nd, 4th and 3rd.
I mean, that ball's secured at the 33-yard line. Unless that's bobbled, and I don't think it is.
No, you're absolutely right there,
That's
Bob.
a brutal spot for the St. Joe's Prep Hawks. Still would have been 4th down and 1, but now it's 4th and a full 3 yards. Game-changing type call if LaSalle can get off the field. Here's Folk standing in, throwing across, and it's Jet Harrison. They ran everybody across the field, tried to draw the safety away, and a simple crossing route for Harrison. Very well done.
Jet Harrison has a lot of catches, but Trey Hopkins has done a good job of tackling him immediately and limiting his run after the catch.
St. Joe's Prep is in no hurry. They get back to the line very slowly. They go downhill to Billups. Hit and dropped. What a play.
And Bob, I just received a good stat from our stat crew, and apparently St. Joe's Prep is 1 for 5 on 3rd down. Something to watch for the rest of this game.
Cooper Halig from the linebacking core came in unblocked and wrapped up Kion Billups.
And that's a great improvement on 3rd downs. As we saw last week, I don't think they were anywhere close to 1 for 5.
Folk now looks to the sideline.
Got quite the receiving crew down towards the Prep sideline here.
6 minutes and 14 seconds to play here in this 3rd quarter. Folk, quick out. Good throw and catch. And that's number 13 for St. Joe's Prep, Alston Frisbee.
And Tyler, as you were saying, all that talent near the St. Joe's Prep sideline, but he actually goes to the talent that was near the LaSalle sideline.
Yeah, they played some soft coverage there, it looked like, on Frisbee. They did a great job.
Usually when we see trips action from LaSalle, it's a handoff to Azir Nelson.
And false start. LaSalle and St. Joe's Prep have been both doing those shifts on the defensive line. The false start is called against St. Joe's Prep.
You can see right here on the shift, the center with the false start. That's not something you see too often.
Tyler, were you guys running a lot of shifts when you were in high school?
I mean, nothing as creative as this, I would say, with the switching pretty seamlessly between a 3-front and a 4-man front. But, you know, there are certainly shifts, especially on stunts, where, you know, you got to protect a certain gap depending on what the offense is giving you. So I really like that. You know, it kind of confuses the offensive line, too, and they have to adapt.
1st down and 15. Here's Folk with a clean pocket again. Takes a shot. It's a great ball, but it's better coverage.
Aiden Christie with great coverage there. Very talented senior.
Yeah, and he was glued to the receiver there.
Yeah, you can see it in the replay here. Christie never let his man a yard away from him here. He's just blanketing him.
And Aiden Christie's another track star for LaSalle, like Jimmy Mahoney. And it looked like the ball hit him in the head there.
Good use of the helmet.
That's why you wear them.
Folk throws this one out for Frisbee, makes a move. Frisbee taken down, shoestring tackle at the 11. What a play by Alston Frisbee. And a good, well-designed play by St. Joe's Prep. 3rd down and short.
Frisbee's been nothing but consistent with these passes tonight. Just showing his skill and his ability to get the ball downfield.
And that's a huge play from 3rd and 15 to 3rd and 3.
Yeah, it's almost like a blessing here they didn't get the 1st down. It feels like it gives them a little more to work with.
And St. Joe's Prep calls a timeout. 5:14 to play. You'll think that these timeouts will be like gold commodities by the end of the contest, but you got to get this one right first and foremost. Start making your way back in the contest.
Yeah, and to dig into this rivalry a little bit, this is the 105th time that these two teams have faced off against each other. According to Bill Wasilenko, the first time these two teams went to battle was in 1915. That game ended in a 0-0 tie. St. Joseph's Prep holds a 62, 38, and 5 record against LaSalle all time.
I would have loved to be at that 1950 game.
Yeah, you're not kidding. This portion of today's game brought to you by Ballad Dermatology Dr. Mary Griffin, offering comprehensive medical and cosmetic skin care, providing early detection and treatment of skin cancer, treatment of all skin conditions, and many cosmetic options to reduce sun damage and help you love your skin. Visit them online at balladdermatology.com or call Dr. Mary Griffin at 610-664-3300. Here's Folk Throwing it across the middle, it's caught for the touchdown. And St. Joe's Prep is on the board. Jet Harrison. And that's the loudest St. Joe's Prep has been all night.
Yeah, there they are.
You can use the back of it.
This would be great. Thank you so much. Yeah. The team here says here, President.
Really nice response from the St. Joe's Prep Hawk, not only offense, but team. That 3 and out was crucial from their defense, and then they just did a great job of marching down the field there.
So, just 7 minutes into this third quarter, and all of a sudden, St. Joe's Prep is right back in it. Stay with us, folks. We'll be right back here on Bob Long Sports.
Investment, high margin, and rapid break-evens. The best thing about our service is that it's free to the public. We're paid by franchise companies for this service. The process is simple. First, we do an introduction. Then the candidate provides me with information. We have a consultation based on that information, and we build what's called the model. Once we have that model, we'll share that with 3 great opportunities that match your criteria. I will follow up with you through the entire process. Obviously, the best opportunities fit the criteria mentioned above, and the right way to find those opportunities is to spend some time with the people who work with the very best franchise company.
5:09 to play. St. Joe's Prep, you knew they weren't going away without a fight. The defense is going to come out feeling engaged, looking to make a stop. Jimmy Mahoney, though, with a big return out to the 37th. Helmet came off. He'll have to take a play off. But a good start for the LaSalle Explorers.
Yeah, I really like that from Mahoney. Looked like he could have made it, maybe juked inside and then went outside, and he had a lot of green in front of him, but what a great return.
And LaSalle can't afford a 3 and out here. They need to at least take some time off the clock.
Yeah, I mean, you can't play conservative here. You're calling your game plan just like you were in the first half. Kind of missing Des Ortiz out there. This is Trey Hopkins checking in on offense, with Ortiz out there as well.
Defense is the call from the St. Joe's Prep side of the field. Sidwar, quick throw and catch. J.P. Oates at center of the field was wide open, and it was well diagnosed.
Just a great route from Oates here, straight up the middle, and he looks like a man amongst boys. Just look at that size.
Put John Boggs, the linebacker, number 22, on an island there. Boggs collapses on the run pass option. Gavin Sidwar is reading the correct linebacker, pulls it, and it's a good throw and catch.
Mahoney's all alone up top right now.
And on that last drive by St. Joe's Prep, it lasted 11 plays and they gained 50 yards. Charlie Folk to Jet Harrison for the 12-yard touchdown at the end. Harrison now has 9 receptions for 80 yards and a touchdown.
Sidwar takes a shot from Mahoney, and he had inside leverage. He threw it to the outside, incomplete.
Yeah, I mean, the Prep brought the house there. Ortiz did a great job of picking up the blitz to give Sidwar just enough time to get that off to Mahoney. And Mahoney looked like he had a step on his man there. It's a tough throw.
Second down, 10 yards to go. Line to gain is the 27 of St. Joe's Prep. And just worth mentioning, an eternity left in this football game.
Yeah, you're not calling conservative, running down the clock.
Brandon Ross is the cornerback with the job of covering Joey O'Brien. Messiah Acres on Owen Johnson. Jimmy Mahoney makes one miss, and another. Jimmy Mahoney, touchdown! And it's Joey O'Brien clearing out that space. Running the seam, taking Ross out of the play.
And look at that, looks like Mahoney's gonna be tackled there for a nice gain, and then he's like, nah, I'm gonna make this more. And he takes it to the End zone for 6.
Yeah, Mahoney is so good after the catch. He is just so fast. It's hard to catch him once he gets in space.
Exactly. We've seen it time and again, his speed and agility being used to get touchdowns and make LaSalle win the games.
His speed is like Tyler's.
No, I don't think so there, Jack.
Well, he's the fastest 400 runner in the history of the school. I can tell you that. I know we mentioned that before, but that's unbelievable. Now a flag came out. It was called good on the field. Brandon Ross being talked to by his teammate Colton Anderson. Perhaps some frustration. So the call is a personal foul after the play against LaSalle. They'll have to kick this off from further back. But it's 24-7, and St. Joe's Prep has an issue here on a Saturday night at home.
I think that issue is wearing gold helmets right now.
And Bob, you were just talking about how there's an eternity of time left, and that time feels a little shorter now that the deficit is made its way up.
And sitting at home watching this right now all develop is Roman Catholic, who's sitting there with a win over LaSalle on a game coming up in a couple of weeks against St. Joe's Prep. Certainly coming in, they knew they were one game away from winning a Catholic League title regardless.
When's the last time they won a PCL?
That's a great question, Huck Palmer. Where are you at, partner?
Where are you at?
Speaking of which, let's play America's favorite game as this one's kicked deep by Chris Heck. Returnable from the 19, again after that personal foul penalty. Nudged out of bounds. It'll be great starting field position. Colton McAleer knocked him out of bounds. Let's play America's favorite game. Where are you at? Let us know where you're watching the game from. You can tweet at us at Bob Long Sports, and we'll give you a shout out on the air.
Kick that one off. The wife and sister-in-law are here over on the LaSalle side, checking in. Or is that great tailgate that you and Rob threw earlier, the Alumni Association, Bob?
That's great. Glad you guys had fun. We thought it was a superb day out there.
Beautiful day. Perfect weather.
4 minutes to play in the third quarter. Kion Billups up the middle. It's a really good gain on first down. Got about half of it back. Maybe they'll give him 4 on the play. Second down and a short 6.
Definitely encouraging for Billups there to get a nice gain. He's tackled for loss in the last few runs he had.
Again, St. Joe's Prep going to the huddle and then looking to the sideline. Certainly not in any type of hurry up. Harrison in motion. Billups up the middle. Hit. Bounces off one. And he'll be taken down. You like Kyrie Mitchell and, I beg your pardon, Jamel Williams in there on the stop. You also had Colton McAleer, his first game back from injury, in there as well.
Jamel Williams is just a great answer for the run game. He is so dominant. Even if he's not making the play, he's a big body that just blocks up, 1-2 gaps at a time.
So you got Zykeem Mitchell, Colton McAleer, Cooper Halig, Keenan Stahl in the linebacking core, 3-man front, Fandozzi, Mitchell, and Williams. Rob Novotny has not been very involved here tonight, but he's a solid senior tight end that makes the tackle, or beg your pardon, makes the play past the sticks.
Yeah, Novotny, that's a crucial first down there. Would have put you in a bit of an interesting predicament if you don't convert on that.
Yeah, and Zyke Scott made a very good tackle there.
Folk fires over the middle, and that one was nearly intercepted. Closest to it was Trey Hopkins. The ball was behind Jet Harrison.
Oh, I think Hopkins had a beat on that too, and it just got tipped by his own man. That would have been going for 6.
And Trey Hopkins does have some good hands. We see him at receiver sometimes.
Yeah, stepped out there for a play for Mahoney after that helmet came off.
Second down and 10. Folk takes a shot deep. It's really good coverage by Christie, and the flags stay in the pocket.
And now that is 2 different plays we have seen Aiden Christie glued to his receiver, as Patrick said.
Intended receiver Austin Frisbee.
I didn't see much there. I like the no call. It looked like maybe they got tangled up at the end, but.
So a big third down play. Jack Burns, if you're St. Joe's Prep, what are you dialing up here?
I think you go for a pass to Jet Harrison. I mean, he has been nothing but great this tonight. And you know that he's going to be able to get the ball. But LaSalle's defense does put up a great job against him. So it's going to be tough to see what they do here.
Folk looks to his right, steps up. You know he can do it with his legs. Takes a big hit. He was starting to give himself up. Cooper Halig in there on the tackle. And a late flag comes in. I don't think that's going to be on the initial hit. I think it's on the reaction after the fact. And that's really hard if you're Cooper Halig, because Folk is giving himself up, Tyler, but it's very, very late.
Yeah, he's giving himself up pretty much as he immediately gets hit. I'm not sure what you're supposed to do there as a defender. And honestly, great job by Folk, too. He sold it pretty well.
So there was a flag on the play. It came out after the play was over. My goodness. Helmet-to-helmet contact against the defense, and it was, I'm talking about the timing. I mean, that play was made, the both teams got in each other's face, there was pushing, there was shoving, and then the flag came out.
Waiting for the call from New York, I guess.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a...
Again, you can make the call, right? Targeting, not targeting, helmet-to-helmet, I get it. The timing is what is very confusing to me.
Coach Brett Gordon is on the field just screaming at the official in the white hat. I don't blame him.
It's a 3-possession game. St. Joe's Prep moving down the field. Double move, Harrison, touchdown. Too easy for St. Joe's Prep.
Jet Harrison is just the man. He is such an important part of this offense. Look at this double move he has, leaving those gold helmets in the dust.
Yeah, that was one of the most impressive routes I've ever seen in person.
And so St. Joe's Prep will send on the kicking unit, Luke Cochran. Still a long, long ways to go in this one. And it's a high snap. And they just fall on it. So it'll remain 24-13. You rarely see that. I'll turn to you, Tyler. We've seen St. Joe's Prep over the years. They're deeper than most. They're more detail-oriented than most. Their special teams has historically been excellent. And they've struggled on multiple areas of special teams here tonight.
Yeah, their special teams has been a difference maker. Tonight it's been the difference maker just in the wrong direction. They got close in a few blocked punts, but other than that, they really need to kind of dial something up. You know, big kickoff return last time from Mahoney as well. If I'm the Hawks here, I'm kicking this one out of the end zone if possible.
Cochran will kick it deep. Angling this one towards Jimmy Mahoney. Returnable from the 13. And out to the 23-yard line. This portion of today's game brought to you by Riley Rakowski and Malloy Funeral Home, an enthusiastic supporter of LaSalle Athletics. Andrew Buddha Rakowski sends his best to Coach Brett Gordon, the student athletes, and the LaSalle football program as a whole. Riley Rakowski and Malloy Funeral Home, a proud sponsor.
Explorers here, pedal to the metal, keep things going like you just did on that last drive. Hawks, you know, they've done a good job up front of getting pressure. They really got to get to Sidwar. Not many sacks, if any, I think, for either team tonight.
JP Oates is in motion. 3 wide. And they'll hand it off to Des Ortiz. Nothing doing there. And a flag in the area of holding.
Yeah, you can see it right there against the left guard. Interesting to see what they do here. You accept it, right?
And it is. They will accept it. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
That's tough because against an offense like this Explorers offense, like, you know, a loss of down is huge.
On St. Joseph's Prep's last drive, that drive ended with Charlie Folk to Jed Harrison for an 18-yard touchdown, which makes Charlie Folk 19 for 33 with 219 yards, 2 touchdowns and 1 interception, and Jed Harrison had his second touchdown reception of the night.
Sidwar. And a nice job to get upfield, staying in bounds. Joey O'Brien out to about the 29. They give him all the way to the 30.
On that play, Sidwar was just trying to get the ball to O'Brien and let him make a play in space. We've seen it so many times from Joey.
Yeah, and Joey O'Brien not only stayed in bounds, but also stayed on his feet somehow. I thought that he was going down immediately with the turf monster, but he got right back up and got some extra yards there.
A tough cover from Messiah Acree. We're big fans of his game here on Bob Long Sports. We've seen him last year and this year, but Joey O'Brien makes it second and manageable. It'll be 4 yards to go. And that's the end of 3 quarters of play. LaSalle 24, St. Joe's Prep 13. They're trying to find a way to come back after a tough loss last week and win the game against their arch rival. Stay with us, folks.
More people are choosing Faulkner Infiniti of Willow Grove for the outstanding customer service and the extraordinary selection of Infiniti vehicles. Like the all-new 2025 QX80, it's unlike any luxury SUV you've ever experienced. With an all-new design and groundbreaking technology, the Infiniti QX80 has set a new standard in its class. Come experience the QX80 and the entire Infiniti lineup at Faulkner Infiniti of Willow Grove. To be sure.
Next Play Basketball is the largest AAU program in the greater Philadelphia area. Next Play also offers camps, clinics, and private training for boys and girls, 3rd to 12th graders. They teach the Next Play mentality to help athletes have success on and off the court. Next Play coaches focus on each player's development through high-level coaching and a competitive environment. If you would like to join the Next Play family, go to nextplaybasketball.com for more information. They will be hosting spring tryouts starting in January.
4th quarter underway, and St. Joe's Prep gets a big sack. So out of that 3rd quarter timeout, St. Joe's Prep brings the heat. Huge play coming up on 3rd down.
I think that's the first sack of the entire game there, and that's huge on Sidwar.
Yeah, and some Franklin Field history. The historic Franklin Field is the oldest college stadium in the U.S. and home of Penn football, the Penn Relays, and various other high school sports. Franklin Field, which opened in 1895 and originally seated over 78,205 spectators before renovations, now seats around 52,900. Franklin Field was also the former home of the Philadelphia Eagles from 1958 to 1970 and host of the 1960 NFL Championship game.
3rd down. 9 yards to go. Well protected. Sidwar, tough ball over the middle. Is that one brought in? It is. J.P. Oates, play of the game thus far.
Wow, what a great play. What a dime by Sidwar. A bit of a push off from J.P. Oates. I don't even know how he got his hands back up there.
What a brilliant play by J.P. Oates.
And just to finish that history, in that 1960 NFL championship game, the Birds dealt the Green Bay Packers coach Vince Lombardi his only career playoff loss. The historic field also hosted some of the very first Army-Navy games between 1899 and 1935.
John Boggs showed blitz. Gavin Sidwar with that hard count. I think you look back at that play right there if LaSalle can hold on. Maintaining momentum. And now they keep it going with O'Brien. Makes one miss. Joey O'Brien will score. Touchdown LaSalle.
Hold up, there is a flag.
There is a flag in the backfield. But LaSalle thinks it's going to be against St. Joe's Prep. The big boys are running down the field. It is a roughing the passer penalty against St. Joe's Prep. The touchdown stands, and LaSalle is well on their way. And I'll tell you, Jack Burns, I'm going to be thinking back to that 3rd and 9, the one-handed catch by J.P. Oates, which set up that very next touchdown play.
It was great plays by this offense. It has been surprising me and nothing but excellent this entire night.
We've been harping on it for so long, but Joey O'Brien in open field is a bad man.
Chris Heck puts it up and through. And it's 31-13 LaSalle. This portion of today's game is brought to you by our friends, our new friends at Burns Design Group. At Burns Design Group, our passion for visual and literary design forges powerful, lasting brands from nonprofits and small businesses to Fortune 500 companies. We create and refresh brands from the ground up, inside and out. We transform culture. We drive growth, profitability, and market leadership. We're a group of hands-on veterans who hold more than 150 years of brand strategy and design experience. Burns Design Group, what's next? By design.
Heck to kick.
That's right. There it is, Tyler. That's what's next.
And we have a member of the Burns family on our show.
Sure do.
Yes, we do.
Jack Burns, who we're so thrilled to have at LaSalle and on our broadcast team.
Love to be here. And just to go over some stats, Joey O'Brien with 146 receiving yards and Gavin Sidwar with 273 passing yards.
It's a big night.
Absolutely.
It's like a vintage Sidwar O'Brien night.
And after that last drive, Gavin Sidwar's total throwing yards actually went up to 293. So close to 300 this game. He's thrown for 4 touchdowns. He's 17 for 29. And then Joey O'Brien, like Jack said, 146 yards on 9 receptions and 2 touchdowns. That last drive was a 46-yard touchdown from Sidwar to O'Brien.
And that's very impressive considering he had a little bit of a rough game last week versus Roman Catholic with the interception to end the game. He really built on his mistakes and came back really strong this week.
Took that personally.
The stats do say that he had 3 interceptions that game, but it was really 2 because of the Hail Mary pass at halftime.
I like the call. I also can appreciate the aggressiveness, and I don't know that Brett Gordon minds Joey O'Brien sending a message right there. He is early. Just a hair.
Even in slow-mo, just a hair. Bang, bang, but I hear that.
It is just a hair, no doubt about it. But I think it's the right call. 1st and 10 for St. Joe's Prep. Although you think about it, when you're up in basketball late, the last thing you want to do is let the other team score with the clock stopped. Same idea here. 1st down with no time off the clock. It's an 18-point game. 2 touchdowns and a field goal. You would need to go for 2 at some point in that time frame as well. but still well within reach for St. Joe's Prep as Folk lost the football, and they do rule that an incompletion. The whistle was a little late. Kind of Tom Brady tuck rule type situation there for Charlie Folk as it slipped on the way out.
Yeah, I didn't see any contact to his hand there, but yeah, that looked like a forward pass all day to me.
And Bob, as my dad says, the clock is your friend.
That's right.
And
That's deep.
Before the snap there, Caleb Davidson was taking his shifts very personally.
I saw that.
They will run the screen. It's blocked well. Good move there. Kion Billups. Billups lost the football. Who's going to come on it? St. Joe's Prep thinks they have it. The officials saw it as well. And they're already moving the sticks. St. Joe's Prep football.
I was about to say, there's the play from Billups, and then didn't finish it as great as could have been, but still get the ball in that field position.
Yeah, it was 1 juke, 2 juke, 3 juke, and then a fumble.
That was amazing footwork and agility on display right there.
Amin Williams into the game. Folk on a double move again. There was contact. It doesn't matter. Touchdown, St. Joe's Prep. And they are right back in it. Jet Harrison. And a flag comes in well after the play. And it's an unsportsmanlike conduct against St. Joe's Prep. And another one against LaSalle. A little slap on the wrist, offsetting penalties.
There's a lot of time left on that clock. That took a minute 10.
And I'm sure Mr. McCartney will tell us exactly how long it took.
Cochran. Remember, they didn't even have a chance to attempt the last point after, as a high snap resulted in a bad try. That one he drives through, and it is 31-20, St. Joe's Prep.
Oh, LaSalle.
Oh, beg your pardon. LaSalle leads St. Joe's Prep. The Hawks are making their way back. Thank you, Tyler. Got to keep me on my P's and Q's. This portion of today's game brought to you by Bala Dermatology, offering comprehensive medical and cosmetic skin care, providing early detection and treatment of skin cancer, treatment of all skin conditions, and many cosmetic options to reduce sun damage and help you love your skin. Visit them online at baladermatology.com or call Dr. Mary Griffin at 610-664-3300. Healthy skin starts here. Actually met one of her patients today at the tailgate, and so happy to hear that Dr. Griffin's doing well. We appreciate the sponsorship and appreciate all the great work that she does for her patients. 9:28 to play. And you just get the feeling that there's a lot of chapters to be written here tonight. Who wants the football? Owen Johnson does, and he takes it. Owen Johnson steps out of bounds, but there's a very clear hold at about the 20-yard line, which will take this one deep into LaSalle territory. Charlie Pickett, the reserve lineman, looked to be in there on the grab.
That's a bad starting field position here for the Explorers. I mean, if you keep playing like you do, you have the lead. Even if your defense is starting to give up some points, they can't catch you.
And the pass game's been so successful, so I feel like they should keep going to it, but it would also be nice to see the run game get a little more involved.
Yeah, we talked about it a bit, but seeing Des Ortiz out there, that transforms the passing game. Ortiz has been so pivotal in picking up these blocks. He's a guy that offers relief for Sidwar, But there's Azir Nelson, who's had some nice runs tonight.
Nelson going backwards. Hit 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Second down and about 14 yards to go.
Just look at this pressure on this instant replay. There's 2, 3 guys just in the backfield. Shout out to number 57 on St. Joe's Prep, Jason Nitz.
And a very impressive thing about this St. Joseph's Prep team, there are 19 players on the varsity team with at least one college offer.
That's insane.
.838 and ticking left in this one. Sidwar throws the screen, waiting for blocks. St. Joe's Prep defends it very, very well. Set the edge beautifully, Tyler. And now it's third down and about 13.
Yeah, Jason Nitz was in on that again, came from across the field. And you just feel like St. Joe's Prep can't be stopped right now.
Yeah, Tyler, I don't think you take a shot on this play. I think you wait for the play clock to go down, maybe hand it off, try and get some yards back, and then maybe some past the original line of scrimmage, and then punt it away.
Line to gain is about the 20. Late shift from O'Brien. Sidwar with a clean pocket, so he takes a shot. Why not for Owen Johnson? It's caught. Move the sticks.
That's the new biggest play of the game right there. Owen Johnson, using that speed, comes up, uses those strong hands. That is a game-defining play right there.
Forget everything I said before that play. That is the perfect time to take a shot.
And the momentum just shifted a little bit here at Franklin Field. It felt like the Prep defense was finally going to get off the field, and then Owen Johnson just comes up with a huge play.
And I think 2 of the best catches we've seen tonight have come from sophomores, Owen Johnson and Jay Harrison.
Massive, massive momentum shift.
Wow.
No question, it changes the game.
That's why they call it game changer.
There's Azir Nelson, nowhere to go that time. He keeps his feet, and he's actually going to get 1.5 yards, maybe 2. A comment as well on LaSalle taking these shots. Take nothing away from those receivers because they're strong hands, they're great players. They're going to be a handful for anybody. Samaj Hill being not in this game for St. Joe's Prep, they're feeling it on plays like that. When you need to have Messiah Acree on someone like an Owen Johnson, and then Hill would play a Joey O'Brien or vice versa. Brandon Ross does a great job. He takes the opposite of O'Brien or Johnson, and then who covers Jimmy Mahoney? It's a tough break for St. Joe's Prep.
The playbook is wide open. You don't really want to stop the clock here, but this is absolutely 4th down territory.
And Bob, like I was saying, without Samaj Hill, most of the defensive backs and cornerbacks are under 6 foot. Samaj Hill's absence, he's a 6'1" guy.
Beg your pardon, we did have the score a little late here, so 31-20. We just put up that touchdown from St. Joe's Prep. 11-point game, 6:04 to play, 4th quarter. It'll be 3rd down and 5.
Azir
This
Nelson
is where it really gets interesting, 4-down territory or not.
Azir Nelson had, got taken down outside or out of bounds there, stops the clock, which is huge for St. Joe's Prep.
Sidwar almost got him with the clap, Tyler.
Almost. He's got a shuffle of his own.
Sidwar slings it. It is incomplete. Terrific defense by Brandon Lockley. That young man is so impressive. He'll play high-level college football without any shadow of a doubt.
Yeah, that's incredible defense there. Perfect timing.
And like I was saying earlier, the 19 players with at least one offer, Brandon Lockley has 23.
Collecting them all. Ortiz checks into the game here 4th down, 5 yards to go.
Offense on the field. Sidwar does have the ability to punt the football as well. And I wouldn't be surprised to see that here. It is still a 2-possession game. St. Joe's Prep has burned one of their timeouts, and that's exactly what he's going to do. It's a really good-looking punt, just doesn't take a great hop. Boy, and if Oates just lets that ball travel a little bit more, he wouldn't know it, but Tyjon Hamilton was getting backed into that football, number 27. He's in there on the block. He's coming back to it. I don't know if it would have hit him, but
it's close.
He did feel a little bit unaware of his surroundings.
And Bob, that play with Sidwar pretending like he's going to run an offensive play and then punting, the first time I saw that was last year against this St. Joe's Prep team in the playoffs. He did it at least 2 or 3 times, and all 2 or 3 times that he did it, St. Joe's Prep didn't have anybody to return it, and it ended up working out very well for the Explorers.
He also got walloped on a play where he wasn't called. That is a throw, and the ball came out. It was caught initially. We don't have a ruling yet. Let's go back to the replay. LaSalle has the football, but I still don't see a call. You'll watch this at home. We'll let you know what we see here. It's ripped out there. I think that's out before the knee comes down.
Absolutely LaSalle's ball there.
But we still have not gotten a call.
LaSalle ball.
There's the call. It's LaSalle football. Dislodging it. What a play.
Absolutely. There was no elbow or knee down there. That is a great call. Tough real-time call.
That's massive for LaSalle right now. And 5 minutes left in the game where any team could still take this.
Yeah, Jack, and I'd love if they would get your guy Azir Nelson just going on the ground here. Maybe take off some time and really shut this game down. Yeah.
There's Nelson. He's got some room and he's chopped down.
And the Explorers student section is letting the St. Joseph's Prep student section hear it as the St. Joseph's Prep student section is starting to clear out a little bit.
Timeout on the field called by St. Joe's. They're trying to save their timeouts. Chance for us to re-examine that play. It was an unbelievable rip before that receiver's knee hits the ground. Who is that? None other than Colton McAleer, who we talked about at the top of the broadcast. He's been injured for the entirety of the year. He's a terrific lacrosse player as well. And he went ahead and ripped that ball out. You talk about having an immediate impact on a linebacking core that was a little bit shorthanded for the first 4 games of the year. And he makes the play of the game.
Yeah, and Bob, I wasn't sure if it was him when it happened, so I didn't want to say anything. But I was just going to say that you mentioned him at the beginning of the broadcast, and what a way to make an immediate impact.
Little stat update here. Nelson is averaging 3 yards per carry, and O'Brien is averaging 15 yards per catch.
Azir Nelson, that's a helmet going flying, not the football. Looked like that for a moment. He held on to the football, and St. Joe's Prep calls yet another timeout.
15 yards per catch, you said, Jack?
I believe so.
From Joey O'Brien. That is a ridiculous stat.
Timeout on the field. We got a chance to tell you about our friends at E&M Insurance. Independent local insurance agency serving the area's business and personal insurance needs. Owned and operated by Chris Marr, class of 1989, and father of Brendan and Ryan, the classes of 18 and 20. E&M can help provide solutions for your business or personal insurance on all levels, excelling at providing the best coverage at the best rates. Look for E&M Insurance online at eandminsurance.com or call them at 215-368-9556. Chance for us to tell you, by the way, like the video and subscribe to the channel. Doesn't cost you anything, doesn't sign you up for anything. It just helps us, and we appreciate you guys following our coverage all year long of LaSalle College, High School, and the Philadelphia Catholic League.
Bob, the helmet that you were talking about that popped off there was Brandon Lockley, so he'll be out on this crucial third down.
Third down, probably 4-down territory. Line to gain is the 18. Des Ortiz is in motion and comes back besides Gavin Sidwar. And a false start. So LaSalle will push it even further, maybe out of 4-down territory type range.
Yeah, I think it's going to be 3rd and 19, 3rd and 20 now.
I didn't see any little jump from the center. His butt went up in the air a little bit. I think that's what they called. I didn't see much else there.
You don't need all those yards right now, and you don't want to call anything particularly dangerous. You have the game in your control. Sidwar steps up, and he'll take the sack. So St. Joe's Prep does what they need to do and will put LaSalle in a clear punting situation. St. Joe's Prep has no timeouts left as we tick under 5 minutes and 5 seconds to play in this fourth quarter.
And taking that sack wasn't the worst thing, because now it gives the Explorers more of a field to punt.
I think it's, you take that 40 seconds off the clock for that 10-yard loss, 7-yard loss all day long at this point in the football game.
Yeah, you're wondering why the clock's still so high up, but Prep burned both of their remaining timeouts there.
That's exactly right. So my point being is you take that sack and you take the 40 seconds, or you have an incomplete pass and have it back at the original line.
That was exactly my point too. And I think that they may have tried to get a penalty there so that they have even more room to punt.
Or just take that entirety of the time down. Make sure you don't leave anything on the table. I don't think they would have had any problems punting from the 44. This would be asking a lot to kick it all the way into the end zone, particularly when Gavin Sidwar will come back out on the field. You see the running back flanking him to the right. He's going to provide some blocking because Gavin Sidwar is more comfortable moving to his right to punt it, and LaSalle will take their first charged timeout here in the fourth quarter. Let's tell you some of the folks that are watching. Let us know where you're at. And you can still tweet at us at Bob Willen Sports, and we'll look to give you a shout out on the air. Mary Greenlaw, watching from Doylestown, Pennsylvania. How about Ryan checking in from Columbia, South Carolina, says go Gamecocks and go Explorers. Hashtag WYA. I like that. Where you at? Our buddy Mick 5 Cent. We know this guy. He's always tuning in from Lafayette Hill. Eddie O'Brien. Great to see you, Ed. Says thanks for the live stream. Does some of the best work out there in high school sports, so thank you, Ed. And LaSalle gets the punt off. It is not a good one. Off the side of the foot. And there is a penalty flag by Chris Heck, who was hit. And at minimum, it'll give LaSalle an opportunity to punt it again.
Yeah, they hit his plant leg.
And so if you hit the plant leg, that's normally roughing. Here comes the white hat to the LaSalle sideline. And he's going to ask what Brett wants. Looks like a 5-yard penalty. And what do you do here? And I kind of like that. I know it wasn't the world's best punt, but how does this game turn? This game turns on a blocked punt, and there's been no team in Pennsylvania better at blocking punts than St. Joe's Prep.
I agree with that. You got 4. I mean, if you're Prep, you're still not in a terrible situation here. Obviously, it's not looking good, but you got 4 minutes, 23 seconds left. You've shown that you can march it down the field pretty quickly. You just can't turn the ball over like they did. They're running out of chances, though.
Carly Wade checking in. saying, let's go Explorers. Coach Mac 54 says, don't forget that Bonner plays in the PCR Red Division. We didn't, Coach. You got a great team, a reigning state champ. Big drive. And Charlie Folk takes a sack. Jamel Williams in there on the stop.
And J.P. Oates, too.
J.P. Oates, a young man that can get off the edge. Thought we might see him in these types of situations. Pin your ears back, get to the quarterback, non-rushing type situations. Just put an athlete on the field, even though he doesn't play it much.
It's a Jamel and Oates sandwich right there.
I like that. And there's Oates again. He almost gets to Folk. Folk gets rid of the football, dangerous, and it's good coverage. Joey O'Brien in there, as well as Trey Hopkins.
And these last two plays, Joey O'Brien has been directly matched up with Jet Harrison in the slot.
J.P. Oates looks fantastic in the DN position.
We were talking to Brett Gordon in the offseason, and there was a school that was saying to Brett Gordon, hey, I might do something crazy and think about offering this young man as a linebacker and as an outside rusher, sight unseen, just based upon the traits and attributes. Well, now he's got some film. Folk steps up. Folk fires over the middle for Jet Harrison. He's ripped down short of the line to gain. It'll be 3rd down and short. 2 yards to go. Clock ticking.
Game right here.
2 downs to get it. But the bigger issue is that St. Joe's Prep cannot stop the clock.
Only 1 down to get it. It's
Beg your
4th down.
pardon. That was 3rd down. So this is 4th down, and this is your ball game.
And as we've talked about all game, the 2 sophomore receivers, one of them here, you got to look for him, Jet Harrison.
Folk takes a shot deep. Incomplete. There is no flag, and it's a turnover on downs.
That's a good no interception there.
Yes, that takes about 30 yards off. But at the end of the day, that stop puts LaSalle in a position to effectively take this down to under 1 minute to play if they manage it correctly.
Yeah, I mean, you're handing off to your guy, Zaire Nelson, although it looks like Desert.
3 times. Or yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter who it is. Ortiz, Nelson, handed off 3 times.
Number 8, Josh
Simmons checks in as well. Haven't seen him at all in that role tonight.
No, we saw him earlier in the year, I believe, against Calvert Hall. Did pretty well. Haven't seen much of him otherwise.
St. Joe's Prep out of timeouts. Simmons hit for a loss of 1. St. Joe's Prep does what they need to do there, but the clock is not in their favor.
LaSalle's depth chart is amazing. The fact that they can have 3 different running backs in the game that are all very talented in Ozzie Nelson, Desmond Ortiz, and Joshua Simmons.
And you gotta, coach, trust his guy in Josh Simmons if you're putting him out there to protect the football.
By the way, a few more folks watching. Gordon Bombay says hello from Conchi, class of 2010. Octavius Carter, tuned in as always. Thank you. There's Simmons, gets to the edge and got back to the original line. BL5 Action Sports, watching LaSalle from Doylestown, class of 1994. Thank you for tuning in, and please do like the video and subscribe. It helps us greatly as we look to bring you coverage of Philadelphia Catholic League and LaSalle football and beyond. 3rd down, 10 yards to go. Remember, this drive started at 3 minutes and 4 seconds after an incompletion on 4th down, where Charlie Folk tried to push it down the field. It was well covered. And a quick screen for Joey O'Brien. That will keep the clock running. Brandon Lockley in there on the stop. Start that 40 count, though, around 1 minute and 30 seconds to play. LaSalle will punt the football. Might even take a timeout when the play clock is at 1. And then protect heavy on that punt and just look to get it off.
And Bob, I wouldn't say unexpected, but the last 2 Explorers games have definitely not been expected. First Roman Catholic coming out and practically upsetting them 39-36 at Widener University. And now LaSalle, certainly not an upset, but not what everybody thought was going to happen, 31-20 at the moment.
Owen Johnson pumping up the Explorers crowd over there. I think he's earned that right today.
He certainly has.
That huge catch on third down that really shifted the momentum of the second half.
And that's makes it 2 huge catches on third down, not just by Owen Johnson, but the other one by J.P. Oates, the acrobatic catch we saw over 2 defenders.
And 2 great throws from Gavin Sidwar on those plays.
Gavin Sidwar, have a game.
Really great to see from him after the interception from last week. He's bounced back in a great way.
And Caleb Davidson, if you can see on the sideline, is, I don't know what dance he's doing, but he's having a good time.
Still things to clean up here for LaSalle. Got to get the punt off. If you do punt it, I guess what? The offense is on the field.
Patrick Burkhead was just telling me that he thinks LaSalle might throw a dagger.
And they will go to the air. And that's going to be out of bounds. So they'll turn over it on downs. 46 seconds to play. No timeouts for St. Joe's Prep. Interesting.
Yeah, not really a catchable ball there. Not the end of the world if you throw an interception there either.
And they did take a few seconds off the clock with the throw, but I guess they would have done that with the punt anyways.
So St. Joe's Prep has the football at the 36-yard line. This is going to throw every rating system off kilter in the state of Pennsylvania. LaSalle loses to Roman Catholic. St. Joe's Prep in dangerous position. A lot has to go right for them to win the football game. Certainly a lot of times those rankings are done by class, but a lot to be adjudicated here. St. Joe's Prep has to move and move quickly. Folk towards the sideline, Harrison. It's kept in bounds by Joey O'Brien. Clock will stop momentarily as they reset the chains at 38 seconds.
And Bob, real quick while it stopped, can you take me through that a little bit? So Roman Catholic letting LaSalle score 36 points, LaSalle letting St. Joe's Prep score 20 points, and we have yet to see the outcome of the...
Yeah, we'll get to that in a second as Folk steps up. And is taken down. J.P. Oates, Jamel Williams in there on the sack.
Jamel and Oates sandwich yet again.
On your pin your ear back type situation, J.P. Oates makes another play. St. Joe's Prep will not even take another snap. And LaSalle has come to Franklin Field, avenged a loss, and they have taken down their arch rival. All eyes turn then to early November to see if LaSalle can do it again and become the favorite in the 6A bracket as we think about postseason play. But for today, for right now, LaSalle is in a terrific position, and it's commendable how they've shaken off a loss and taken down their arch rival.
Yeah, huge win today, and it was just great to see this Explorers come together in all 3 phases of the game. They looked really strong out there, and I'm just really impressed all around. Great way to respond after, a big loss last week.
Yeah, I think this LaSalle team really needed this as a confidence booster. I don't think they were ever too down on themselves, but they really came out to play today and got a huge win over St. Joe's Prep, who was ranked the #1 team in the state.
What a great win for the Explorers. They dominated the first half, and there was a small part of the second half that some of us thought St. Joe's Prep dominated, and then the momentum shifted to the Explorers side. Once again, what a great game.
Yeah, this was nothing but a fun night and a fun game. Both these teams doing an absolutely amazing job. This score was a lot bigger than I expected. I expected a closer game, but it's always great to see a lot of points getting on the board. And just some stats update: the LaSalle offense had 364 total yards, with Gavin Sidwar going 20 for 34 and getting 326 passing yards with a 0.58% completion.
Wow.
Mouthful, Jack.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff on this paper.
Yeah.
Once again, thank you to Bob McCartney for our in-game stats. He did a great job keeping track of all of them, a great job of walking them over to us.
Yeah, Jack, and that athletic communications club is really rising at LaSalle. You know, during community time, I see more and more people there every Wednesday. So.
Yeah, and if you're a LaSalle student, come join the athletic communications club with me and Patrick, and ran by Mr. McCartney.
Sounds like I need to join.
As LaSalle is going over to their student section, holding their helmets high for their alma mater. I'm getting the chills just watching this LaSalle student section.
Yeah, I'm a little jealous of you as a student. This has been a big win. And, you know, win or lose, we saw it last week after the loss against Roman Catholic. They do that alma mater beginning and end of every game. And I think this is more of a celebratory one compared to last week's.
Yeah, last week showed good sportsmanship and that they were proud that their band came all the way out to Widener. This week it's Hail LaSalle because we beat the Prep.
Yeah, and this is not the last time these two teams will see each other, as we know. LaSalle won in the regular season in a quadruple overtime stunner last year, this time, and then lost in the playoffs in a very close one-score game. And this year, you know, LaSalle wins in a more of a dominant way in the regular season, but you know, Prep's going to remember this one come November.
Yeah, I believe they will face each other again at Villanova, potentially in November. LaSalle moves to 5-1 after this game, and they needed this after a rough loss, an unexpected loss last week to Roman Catholic. Not only do I want to thank Bob McCartney, but I also want to thank the WSJP program for letting us use their booth, including me and Patrick in their pregame, welcoming Jack back as a LaSalle student now who was a Prep student last year. I mean, they're so nice to us, and I just want to thank them.
Brett Gordon with us, head coach. That's a game, quite a night against your arch rival.
It was a hard-fought game. I thought at halftime, I actually thought our lead, we were playing better than the score indicated even at halftime. We knew they were going to come back and play really hard in the second half. They did. We had multiple chances to kind of knock them out. Didn't do it. So those are things we'll work on moving forward, but overall, certainly happy with the win.
Down the stretch, JP Oates, by the way, getting off the edge in pure passing situations, he can really get to the quarterback.
JP's a tremendous athlete. He's fast, he's strong, 225 pounds. We've been working him in a little more as a defensive end, and he, you know, we know he can make plays if we put him off the edge and give him an opportunity. And to see him come up in a big moment was huge.
Gavin, for LaSalle College High School tonight.
He made a lot of big plays like he always does. He stands in there, delivers. He doesn't shy away. He's got kind of that killer's mentality of making plays when they're there, and certainly proud of him. I know that it was only a matter of time before the touchdown record went down, but
yours, by the way.
It was mine. So if I'm a little if I don't look too happy right now, Bob, that's probably why. But in all seriousness, if it was going to happen in a game, this was the one I would want it to happen.
Your defense stepped up. I'm sure you guys asked some questions and changed some things this week. What did you see out of your defense?
Defense played well tonight. I mean, they had their moments, but they're a great team with great players. So there's going to be moments. I thought when we really needed to make some stops, we did, and then certainly in the first half. And then coming up with a couple key turnovers in these types of games is always huge. So to see us come up with turnovers, especially on the defensive side of the ball, I know that was a big difference tonight.
Colton McAleer back from injury. That seemed to have immediate impact.
That was Colton's play was one of the plays of the game. That's why I was actually frustrated that we didn't go in and score after that momentum shift, because they were still in the game at that point with time left. So to see Colton works extremely hard. We're really proud of him. He's a great kid. All he wanted to do was get back and play this season, and in particular this game. So for him to make an impact the way he did, really happy for him.
Brett Gordon, terrific win against St. Joe's Prep, and enjoy this one. You deserve it.
Awesome. Thanks, Bob. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Brett.